This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
But teacher, when are we ever going to use math in the real world?
With Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on AutoTrader, you don't have to. At least not car math. Hit the road with confidence knowing exactly what you're going to pay each month for your car. AutoTrader.
Hey, what's the easiest way to find out what channel the game's on? Sports on What? Subscribe to the Sports on What app and quickly find the channel for every provider, satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel a game is on, and you can too. Download today.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, for the second time in 1 month, the Seattle Fire Department responded to a fire in the same vacant building in South Seattle. Now, according to firefighters, that same building has been on fire several times. But the cause of this latest fire has been ruled, quote, undetermined. Meanwhile, in Long Island, fire officials, they have figured out the cause of a 600-acre fire that burned over the weekend. A family's attempt to make s'mores. Now, as far as we know, the family is avoiding charges related to their inability to make s'mores, but the same cannot be said for a woman in South Carolina. She's facing fines and possible jail time after she inadvertently started a fire that torched over 2,000 acres. She'd been burning trash in her backyard, you see, and, well, it got out of hand. But sometimes it's easy to figure out what started a fire, like the engine on a FedEx cargo plane that was engulfed in flames. They absolutely knew it's probably when the engine sucked the bird into it, because that's when the flames started. They had to make an emergency landing. In case you haven't pieced it together, today we're talking about fires. That's right. Maybe you said it. Maybe you witnessed it. Maybe you heard about it later. But today, all about fire. So our question, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration, is what was on fire and how do you think it started?
Be part of the big show. Call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, and send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oh, but tell us away we go. Welcome to Season 20, episode number 4,279. What a large and a charged program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat coming up at 4:30. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less. How are we looking this week?
It's not too bad, man. It's this is definitely a them problem, kind of Who Sucks Less. Not a them should make you too problem. Angry. A them problem. What did you call it, Mike? An intimacy-related
Issues with intimacy.
Issues with intimacy.
Yeah, I mean, sexual performance or just relationships?
More relationships.
All right,
relationships.
Okay, fair enough. Who Sucks Less on the way at 4:30. What else do we have to let you know of? Stanwood shortest St. Patty's Day Parade. Hopefully, you can join us this Saturday at 11 at the Stanwood Hotel Saloon as the Daily Mix Show. They are basically putting together the shortest St. Patty's Day Parade that Stanwood has ever had.
Yeah, and I was Googling Stanwood earlier today. There's not a lot of Stanwood to have a long parade.
No.
So this is actually kind of amazing that they can do the shortest parade.
Also, I will say, ironically, last time I was at the QFC in Stanwood, they had our sausage.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it might also be the first St. Patty's Day parade that they've ever had in Stanwood as well. Huh. Well, it's 11 o'clock. It's absolutely free. We do believe that we might have finagled a type of float or to maybe participate
Yeah, we'll be there, but we didn't know exactly what to do to participate in the parade. But now, and Mike refused to play his trombone. So, yeah, we kind of have a
I'm
fruit.
not good anymore, man.
I still want to walk a goat. I'm not sure if that's going to go down or not, but I think that would be cool.
That's your goal, is to walk a goat.
Yeah.
In the parade.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm in charge of the goat.
Yeah, live large, man. You know, make that dream come true.
When have you ever been in charge of an animal that's, like, first of all, really not domesticated?
So not my dog or cat.
Yeah, but, I mean, seriously, you got to take care of this thing for a while.
I don't want to do that. I don't want that responsibility.
See, I wouldn't want to walk a horse because that could be dangerous. I don't know what the horse is.
Why don't you ride one?
Yeah, why would you just ride the horse? Why would you walk a horse? Why not just ride the horse?
I'm not getting on top of that damn thing. Remember how we have conversations about things you will never do again in your lifetime?
You're not going to ride a horse again?
Ever.
Why not?
I have seen the movie. I've done it because I've been terrified on them before.
What? I mean, it's not something like I die to do, but if they said you want a horseback ride...
You've been on a horse that just takes off running?
No.
Okay,
no. That might change my perspective on the horse ride.
I did get on a horse after that, but that still is the thing that sticks in my mind as far as horses go.
Well, sure.
I mean, because my buddy was just messing with me because he had a faster horse. So he took off on that one, and I had the older horse on his grandmother's farm, but that horse wanted to catch up.
Right.
He was not going to be outdone by this young new horse that was brought into the farm.
Is that natural horses? Like if one takes off, like they're just going to follow?
That's what happened to me.
Okay.
I don't know about anybody else's experience. Maybe you can maintain the horse better. But
Well, my mother, early on in her dating days with my father, they went horseback riding. Now, no one's horse was running, but her horse took off. And as far as I know, she'd never been on a horse before. This is when she discovered that my father, I guess maybe it's just part of being from Texas, the man knows how to ride a horse. So she's taking off on the horse. She's screaming. It's like cutting through the woods. And she's like, you hear this galloping come up beside her. It's my dad. And she's like, it's like a freaking movie. He basically one-hands her off of her horse. Okay. Yeah, brings her over to his horse and then slows her horse down and then walks them both back. I'm like, my father, the one I call Dad. She goes, I swear to God, I did not know.
From what I understand, the Stanwood Hotel Saloon might just open up at 9 a.m. that morning. Might be the regular time to open up. I have no idea. Either way, the bar will be open. It is absolutely free. Mm-hmm. It is a short parade. I know those guys have gotten a marching band and some other things going down.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a fun little party in Stanwood, starting at 11 o'clock. Hopefully you can join us. And speaking of the Daily Mix Show, those guys, if you get a chance, check out their podcast from today's show at KISW.com, Odyssey.com, wherever you get your daily podcast. They had just an amazing show today, paying tribute to the late Bob Rivers, who passed away yesterday at the age of 68 years old. They played a bunch of Twisted tunes. BJ came in. It was great to see BJ again. He was in the studio.
I didn't realize he was in the studio, and I get to work, and Castle goes, come here, Thurl, man. Look at this mother effort. And then there's BJ. I'm like, oh, what's up,
I knew
man?
BJ was here as soon as I saw, like, McDonald's out there and breakfast and all the...
There was evidence of him being here, after the fact.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah.
I was like, yeah, BJ was definitely here. But, man, just reminiscing about Bob and the times here at KISW. Again, KISW.com and Odyssey.com. Definitely check out those podcasts. Also, we're going to play some Bob Rivers Twisted tunes on our program this afternoon as well. So if you're going, what is that? That is Bob Rivers.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, exactly. What was the one we heard earlier? What if God smoked cannabis?
Cannabis, yeah.
What if God smoked cannabis? Whoever the female singer was on that one nailed it.
They kind of crush it, man. I'd heard some of his tunes, but I've heard a lot of them the last few days. And I mean, the band was great. The singers have been great. I'm like, all right.
I remember the older tunes. I forgot about all of the ones that he did, throughout the years.
Yeah.
Well, some of the ones that I missed. So, very cool. KISW.com. Check out the Daily Migs Daily Podcast at Odyssey.com or on your Odyssey app. Okay, today on the question, we're going to talk about fire. One thing that is universally true. You can build a fire. If you have a fire under control, a fire could be one of the greatest things in the world. However, when fire is not where fire is supposed to be, it is one of the most terrifying things that you can ever go through in your life.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a grease fire in a kitchen, you know just exactly how crazy fast a fire can get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
real fast.
I've had one in my lifetime, and it was probably one of the most terrifying moments of my life as far as just what went down and how far the flame shot up. Also, the fact that it was in a rental unit. There was no hood above the electric stove. When this pan of hot grease and potatoes caught on fire, I've never seen more black smoke in my life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just trying to get the place aired out. My apartment smelled like soot and smoke for at least a week.
How'd you put it out?
With a towel. I went in,
Smothered it.
and
Yep.
got a.
You got to smother the grease fire,
and
man.
ran into my bathroom and got my towel that my buddy gave me crabs on and threw it over the top of that pan.
Burn those crabs right off.
And thank God that thing went out, but it still seemed like the soot was on fire on the wall.
Yeah.
Like the grease had traveled within the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
It was sitting on the wall and the ceiling. That was still something that I needed to kind of put out. So I was kind of up on top of the stove with a towel, tamping that out as well.
Right.
I didn't want to catch the entire building on fire. But that was terrifying. I mean,
And it's not of a good cook.
no. So we start with this story. As authorities say, a series of brush fires that tore through the east end of Long Island over this past weekend can now be traced back to one local backyard, where a family's attempt to make Saturday morning s'mores apparently went awry. I have never heard of Saturday morning s'mores. S'mores to me is always something that
That's at
happens,
evening time by the campfire.
That's what I was thinking. This is a different way to eat breakfast. But
Last
either
time I
way-
saw man, how old was that kid? 2 or 3? I don't know how to explain it. We gave him a s'more. I turned around to help somebody else get a s'more and turned back, and it was like it exploded.
It was just all over the face.
Yeah, just kids being kid, but it was just goddamn, it was all over.
Well, that's hot.
It's all over his clothes. Just like, well, son, what did you do?
What happened?
Did you just bite into it and explode?
I'm telling you, it was this quick. I was like, here you go, buddy.
Yep.
Turn this way, turn back. And I'm like, what
It's already
happened?
happened.
Yeah.
Police Commissioner Kevin Catalina said at least 4 individual fires had been reported, but the investigators believe they all emerged from the same incident at a home in Manorville. The individual who's making the s'mores is unable to get the fire lit due to the winds.
So you still thought it was a good idea?
But they used cardboard to initially light that fire. That person subsequently discovers that the fire does ignite, and the backyard area all goes up in flames. He noted the first fire was put out around 10:30 a.m. in the morning. But just a few hours later, more reports of other fires started coming in. It is believed that the embers from each fire traveled and continuously started more fires, adding that all of those fires are in direct line with a strong northwest wind that was blowing that day. That s'more ended up torching at least 600 acres over the weekend.
For s'mores.
Before the 80 or so local fire departments that rushed to the scene were able to get the fire under control. 2 firemen suffered injuries while taking on the blazes.
Because of s'mores.
But they're said now to be in good condition after being hospitalized. Meanwhile, the governor has declared a state of emergency as Long Island continues to grapple with extra dry conditions. And there is a burn ban in effect for the island and parts of the Hudson Valley, and they prohibit uncontained campfires, open fires for cooking. Small contained fires, backyard fire pits are still permitted. So you can still have one of those things with a screen on.
So you have excessively dry conditions. You're having a hard time starting a fire because the winds are blowing, and you insisted on continuing to try to start the fire to make frickin' s'mores.
That is correct.
And this happens.
Yes.
I don't feel bad for him at that point.
No.
No. When I was when we were back in Baltimore, I had an opportunity to go through fire training for 2.5 days, with the Baltimore City Fire Department.
Was this for the movie? Was it Ladder 49?
49, 69. No, it had to be
Ladder 69.
Ladder 69.
I think that's the porn
That's
one.
a different movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Ladder 49. John Travolta was in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Ladder 69.
The house is on fire.
Joaquin Phoenix was in it. I was in the movie. I believe I was in the movie.
Were you in the movie?
I believe I was in the movie.
What scene were you in?
We were all running into a building, but keep in mind we all had helmets on, full gear, oxygen tanks.
So I couldn't identify your face.
There were 20, 15 guys, 20, 30 people. That was the only scene that was kind of why we were there, was to emulate what was going on.
So did you have to do the training before they basically let you on the set?
You know what? It was just part of the whole process.
All right.
That's what they asked all of us to do. So I was like, sure, man, I'll do that. No big deal. It was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had the day off work on Friday. It was all part of a promotion. We were doing the eventual premiere of the
Ladder 69.
when it came out. Believe it or not, by the time the movie came out, I'd already been let go from the radio station.
Damn.
Yeah, so it didn't really matter one way or another. But they have this.
Did you get invited to the premiere?
No. Hell no.
They don't invite extras?
No.
No.
Hell no. They don't have, no. It's like Joaquin Phoenix and people like that, who I did see on one day of training. He was there. But something was wrong with him. He was having a hard time walking around. I don't know if he had like a leg injury.
Wait, so he's in the movie. You're doing the fireman training so you can best emulate what firemen actually do. But one of the stars is like, yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, the second day we're there, they're going to burn down a building. Now, this is a 5-story building, and it is part of the training facilities in East Baltimore at their fire academy, whatever thing. So it's all simulated.
Yeah.
But what they do is...
But the flames are real.
The flames are real.
Yes.
Yes, that's the problem. So you put all this gear on, and you put your tank on, and you cannot believe, first of all, how heavy all this
Say, how heavy is all that stuff?
The boots alone are like, it's like post holing. I can't equate it to anything. It's like having crampons on, plastic boots, and post holing in 2 feet of snow. It's just, it's not good. I mean, your feet are so heavy, and there's heels on those bad boys. And I mean, then when you put the pants on, you realize the pants easily 20 pounds.
Really?
That jacket is easily 30 to
stuff's
35
heavy.
pounds. Then you put a tank on your back.
I think it's part of the reason firemen are generally kind of bigger dudes.
Yeah, it would explain a lot.
Then you put a mask on. Then you put a respirator in. You put a tank on your back. You put that over your shoulders. You've got an ice axe or a pick or whatever you've got in your hand. And I'm telling you what you feel like gravity is at the most extreme that you've ever felt in your life. It's also a 5-story building that goes up steps. Now, when you walk into that building, they've already basically set it on fire.
Cool.
Right, okay? But you still got to get to the top. And when you get to the top, and I didn't realize this, but so we go up 1 floor, and now, man, it is getting hot. And this is also a summer day in Baltimore, which are typically 85 to 90 degrees. There's humidity. There's all those things. And, I mean, you want to talk about, you feel like you are in the hottest sauna you have ever been in your life. Every single step that you take going up those steps, it gets hotter and hotter.
Right.
And you cannot believe how much hotter it's getting, without the fireman stuff on. You wouldn't be able to even walk up 1 flight of steps.
Yeah.
So by the 3rd floor, the air, even though it's in a tank, is starting to get hot, and it's starting to get hot. Air is very hard to breathe.
Are you kind of like trying not to panic as you're going through this?
I'm following the guy in front of me. That's basically because we're also carrying a hose.
Of course.
So we're all kind of chained up with that hose, and we get to the top, and they've got a guy who works for the Fire Department Training Association, and he's up there, and he's got a Rastafarian wig on with dreadlocks down to the middle of his back. He's got a red, black, and green Jamaican hat on, like a beanie. Yeah. And he's got this huge fake joint, probably like the dog toy that you got your friend kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, those things are awesome.
And he's acting like he's smoking it. Well, the problem is he's also a rescue.
All right.
So you need to get him out of there. And you need to carry him out of there. And that's part of it. If you found
this guy.
Was it funny?
It was funny when you saw him, but you're still like, he's a pretty sizable dude.
All right.
So it took like 2 or 3 of us, or, depending on the size of the stairwell where we could get him through, it took about 4 of us to kind of like grab an arm, grab a leg, and carry him down.
How long did it take to get him down?
It didn't seem like that long, to be honest with you, because every time he took a step down, it was getting cooler.
Yeah.
Which helped. But he was perfectly fine. That was the thing. He might have had like pants on and maybe like a top, but he was, he wasn't dressed in fire clothes.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, thank you, brother." He's talking.
He's doing this the whole time.
He's talking to us the whole way down. He's loving it. He's a Baltimore fireman. He's got the accent. He loves the fact that this is his job. He's really enjoying it. Sometimes he'd go limp, do the whole thing. But I'm telling you, man, to look at the fire and how the fire was traveling on top of the ceilings of each of the floors, it was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a hurricane fire.
All right.
The way that the fire was swirling around, the way it was reacting by the open windows and the doors and how it was breathing.
I'm shocked how many people don't realize today that fire needs oxygen to...
It's staggering when you're talking to adults.
Correct.
It's like, come on, man. You don't want
Even
it to
just
breathe.
simple things. Sometimes, like, you get a tube for your joint.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, just keep the tube. You put it in there, close the top. Or like
it goes out.
The other day, or like last week, I just put like the top on my candle, and somebody's like, "You don't blow it out first?" And I'm like, "You don't have no idea how fire works."
Right.
Yeah. No,
And it's a candle.
But by the time I got out of there, I was so happy that was my one exercise for the day, because there was another building that caught on fire that they simulated that.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do that one, but apparently that one was hotter and a little bit more risky. So I was just like, all right, man. I did the one. I climbed the steps, man. I'm sweating. You cannot believe, like, all of your underclothes. There's not a dry spot on anything when you take everything off.
You're drenched.
It's absolutely insane. What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803. Nerds.
Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Smart Travel doesn't just cover points and miles. They break down all the financial aspects of your trip, whether that's the best days to book, how to avoid hidden fees, or which fancy travel credit cards pay off, and which ones are just an expensive flex. If you want your travel budget to work harder, then dive into the best deals, products, services, and more with Smart Travel from NerdWallet, wherever you get your podcasts. You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. You know what's sneaky? A bunch of big corporations buying up local companies you know and love, gutting them, and keeping the name. But you know who's not a sellout? Pinky's Plumbing. That's right. Pinky's Plumbing's values start with their work ethic, honesty, how they treat their employees, and how they care for their customers. Bigger isn't always better, and that's a fact. You should know you're working with a locally owned company that truly values where they live and work. Pinky's Plumbing. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
Rock.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
Only got a 3-inch tool, Ted. I believe that was Hootie and the Blowfish.
Something like that, yeah.
Might have been a Bob Rivers twisted tune. That was a good one, too. But when he's coming out of the pool, he's only got a 1-inch tool.
Yes.
I felt that one. Because I like Hootie.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm. Our question, what was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
Yeah, hey, Bob. Here we go. Salute to the Rivers.
Yeah, man.
So, I apologize in advance, guys, and Mike. I had a remembrance of a different story. What it caught on fire and what I believe caused it was a trailer fire, travel trailer fire. And I think it was a blanket and a space heater.
And why do you think that?
And those are the only two things that I could think that would have caused the fire.
All right.
I left that morning.
Well, was it your travel trailer?
Yes.
And were you living in it, Dan?
I was.
And you left the heater on when you left?
No, I was not in the trailer. I lost my wife that day.
You left your wife there that day, you said?
I lost my wife that day.
Wait, she died
in the fire?
She did.
Oh, my God. All right,
Wait, and that's not the first story that came to mind. You're telling us, like, you called it a different story. Then, like, oh, yeah. That's right, the fire that took my wife.
Yeah, I did. The original story was it was about I don't know, 25, 30 years ago next to our neighbor's little tool shed, whatever, had caught on fire. And I think it's just because of it's, so new, only a couple months ago. And I kind of blocked it out. And I was like, oh, for F's sake.
I forgot my wife died in a fire.
No. I didn't think of it that way. It's just that type of a tragedy. You end up doing other things. It's like, oh, God,
No, look, man, I completely understand that. My thought is, even if I'm trying to avoid thinking of a tragedy, like, there'd be a few trigger words, like, what caught on fire? Like, I just feel like that memory would come crushing back instantly.
Where do you live now?
In my car.
You do live in your car. All right. Are you still worried about that kind of thing happening?
With other people, absolutely. Anytime, I do. I mean, I don't have a space heater in my car per se, but for anybody that ends up having to live in a travel trailer or ends up having that type of a space heater, that one I believe was ceramic base. I worry about that, absolutely.
Okay. Daniel, I have to ask, how long have you been in this kind of predicament?
Since January.
Since January of this past year. So your wife just recently passed away?
Yes.
Okay.
How did you end up in this situation that you're living in the travel trailer?
My landlord had the house that my wife and I were living in there for quite a few years. Wanted to remodel the house, and she wanted to have an empty home. So she gave us plenty of notice. So at that point, post-COVID, I mean, I was the only wage earner, so my wife ended up not working there for a long time. 3 times the amount of your rent, is what landlords are wanting. So her and I decided, well, I'll take out a loan and we'll get a travel trailer. No kids or anything at that point, and we'll, live a little bit cheaper. And so we did. And we went that way for a year, and
Yeah. How long had you been with your wife before this happened?
Oh, shoot. We got married 10 years overall.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. That's crazy. Have you reached out to see if there's any housing available that you could possibly move into for a temporary time?
No, I've been kind of just burying myself in work, being numb.
I understand that.
Yeah. I just been nose to the grindstone and just trying to keep going with work.
Now, is there any kind of insurance or anything on the travel trailer? I mean, do you get anything out of that, or did it just burn and that's it?
No, I didn't have it. I didn't have it insured.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's a hell of a year so far.
That was great. I do appreciate you guys, gentlemen. And I wasn't meaning to throw that big old heavy knuckleball at you, but
we were just more shocked that was the second story.
Daniel, Daniel, are you in the north part of town or south end?
North end.
All right. Hey, look. Saturday at the Stanwood Hotel Saloon, they're doing the Stanwood Shortest St. Patty's Day Parade. The Daily Mix Morning Show putting that on. I'll show up there, man. I'll buy you a couple beers.
I'd love to, Miles.
Yeah, man.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, man. If you haven't had a Men's Room IPA yet, you got to get one of those.
And what kind of car are you in, by the way?
A Kia Soul.
A Kia Soul.
Okay. All right. So you're sleeping diagonal, I'm assuming.
Not necessarily diagonal, more upright.
Okay.
So yeah, you lean back. I guess you could call that diagonal.
How tall are you? I'm just curious in the Kia Soul.
Oh well, with age I'm shrinking, but I'm about 5'7", 5'8".
All right.
Okay, that helps.
Okay, I gotta ask. Do you just look for random places to park, depending on where your job is the next day?
Well, the job doesn't necessarily move. It's in the same spot, but I rotate.
All right.
Whether it's a friend's couch, every now and again, or parking lot here and there. My boss is the company I work for has been very gracious.
Knowing that car is kind of a target for auto thieves, have you ever been in that car when someone tried to steal it?
No.
Okay. All right. It can't get any worse, right? Yeah. All right.
Or you were sleeping when they tried.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I was just thinking.
Right, and I didn't know.
Right. They came out to the window like, oh, no, it's occupied.
Wow. All right, man. Well, yeah, meet us up on Saturday, man. We'll get you a couple drinks.
And a shot.
Yeah, for sure.
What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Anyone else see that? I mean, I did not think that's where I was going to go.
No.
And the fact that I was just like, I thought of another one when I was on hold. Like, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Darren. Welcome to the men's room.
Well, hello, hola.
Hola.
So I got a quick one. It's not even really all that. I mean, maybe it's funny, but I think it was funny and kind of strange to the people who actually saw this happen. But I used to have an SUV, like a Bronco, and it didn't have any oil in it. It had an oil leak, and I was driving and I needed gas. So I pulled into a station, proceeded to fill it with gas, and then I got some oil for the truck. You know, I'll pop the hood, and I'm pouring some oil in, and I hit the outside of the engine, and it starts on fire. So
the oil went up in flames.
I ran in and got asked for a fire extinguisher, ran back out, put the fire out, put the cap back on, and drove away.
So the car was still drivable?
Yeah, it was just there was oil on the outside of the engine. It was that hot, though.
Were there other people at the gas station? Man, you getting looks from other people?
Oh, yeah. I mean, someone just driving in sees this guy putting out a fire and then driving away in the car.
What kind of car is this? It's a Bronco?
Like a Bronco.
A newer one or an older one?
Oh, it was an old one. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, that makes a little bit more sense than a new Bronco catching on fire.
I like the look of the new Broncos, man.
I do too.
And Ford.
Oh, they're great looking.
The thing is, I think Ford wanted to keep producing the Bronco, but seriously, after OJ, that was everyone's association with the Bronco. Mm-hmm. So they took, about a 20-year hiatus? Like,
longer than that.
Let it die down before we reintroduce
Because that was the Bronco. But the ones that I see now are more the size of the Bronco 2. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
So it was more. It wasn't the. I mean, a Bronco was a big. It was on a F-150 truck.
Right.
So that was a bigger
Those
chassis.
Broncos are pretty big.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
I think they look smaller because of the design. My buddy's got one. He waited forever to get it. It's awesome.
What does he think of it?
He loves it.
All right.
What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Bernie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Oh, yeah. Kind of an ironic name when we're talking about fires.
Well, would you like to learn how I earned my nickname?
Oh, give it to us, Bernie.
Okay.
Years ago, out of high school, I was a mechanic and doing mufflers and stuff like that. And I took a little shortcut while hanging a dual exhaust system on a old 66 Fairlane. And took a shortcut by taking the torch and blowing a little tiny hole in the floorboard so you can run a lag bolt to hang the mufflers. Well, you know, there might be insulation and stuff under the back seat that might be caught on fire. And, hey, dude, there's smoke coming out of that car. I'm like, oh, F you. You know how guys are at the shop, always giving each other crud. So, nope, it was on fire. So he got a free exhaust system and a new back seat.
Was it, was the car?
I like how you spin it. Hey, man, good news. You got a new exhaust system and a new back seat.
Did you have that thing on a lift when it caught fire then?
Oh, yeah. I was underneath it, hanging a muffler system, but and then I burned up my mom's car and trying to do a good deed by cleaning it and degreasing it. And vaporized solvent is not a good thing on a hot motor.
Oh, okay.
What kind of car did she have?
Oh, it was the one I learned to drive in, a 78 Caprice Classic, big boxy boatmobile, like a cop car.
That is a big ass car.
Doesn't matter. She still wasn't happy that you burned her car down, right?
Oh, no, we got a new wiring harness and repaired it. It just, never was quite the same. It didn't smell right.
All right, okay.
Now, did you repair it, or did you take it somewhere else to get it repaired?
Oh, it was at our shop, so we ordered my dad made me do it.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
And then I burned down my shop here in Squim about 15 years ago.
Jesus,
Bernie,
man.
what are we doing, dude?
I mean, how did you burn this? It'd be better if you just said you're an arsonist. This is terrible because we're all mistakes.
Well, yeah, exactly. And my last name almost rhymes with that.
Mistake?
Arson.
I'm guessing Carson or something along those lines.
Put an L in front of it.
Larson. All right. So how did you burn down your shop? What went wrong that time?
I was working on a classic car, so
Jesus, dude, stop,
Bernie.
Stop working on cars that are older than you.
And I had some little welding to do on it. It was after hours. It's the only time I get stuff done with the phone's not ringing. And
the welder messed up. The wire feed got all bound up, and I was like, oh, bag it. It's time for dinner and a beer. And so I lock up, and there was a little spark that had found a home, and it was caught on fire. I was running 2 spaces, so I had extra crispy and smoky. So luckily, my customer cars were on the smoky side.
Okay.
All right. And you're a trusted mechanic.
Well, I do auto glass now mostly.
All right. Okay. Have you ever almost caught yourself on fire through your technical welding skills?
No, but we used to have. Well, actually, when the striker wouldn't work for the acetylene torch, you get a little flint and you squeeze it and it makes a spark.
Okay.
Well, when the flint is gone, you take matches and you put them in your shirt pocket and you use matches to light the torch. Well, when a chunk of slag goes into your pocket and lights your boob on fire, it's no fun.
So you have caught yourself on fire then?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, Bernie. Don't come to any of our events. We hope to never meet you.
Yeah, that's good guy. Don't do mechanical stuff. It's not for you.
What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Somebody just texted in, Bernie sounds like a terrible mechanic. Yeah, I think we all kind of agree on that. Yeah. Hello, Justin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hold on, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
So, what caught on fire was my coworker's hard hat. We were on fire patrol, funny enough, and we were welding some duct work up. And this duct work was to take fumes from making those shingles for roofs.
Right.
So a bunch of just tar. So we just sweep out the inside, make it all clean. So we had a pile of basically tar-soaked rags. So he put his hard hat on it to weld. A little spark went underneath, caught all the rags on fire, and melted his entire helmet.
Oh, damn.
All right.
So, needless to say, we were no longer on fire patrol.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair decision.
My God.
I've seen a couple cooks on fire, never burned up to death, but just, and of course, cooking for 12 years, it is inevitable. You'll burn yourself all the time, but usually you're just not thinking and you grab a hot ass pan or something like that. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, the burners are going. And it seems like most of the guys that caught on fire is they're back because they're talking to you, right? You got a little bit of lull in the action. The burner's still going. And it's like, dude, your apron's on fire. And they go up quick, man. But I mean, you get them off quick, you stomp it out. It's like, Jesus Christ. But if you look at a lot of different chefs' coats, you can tell they've had them for a while. I mean, obviously there are stains, but there are some severe burn marks. And every burn mark has a major, major story. Oh, yeah, my sleeve was on fire, man, but I still had to plate this dish. And that's the weird thing about cooks. You'll be on fire. People say you're on fire, or the rag that you have tucked in your pocket's on fire. And it's like, I know, man. I got to finish plating this.
So you kind of run the risk.
You do. You're like, look, man, I'll be fine. It's only 8 more seconds, but I know I'm on fire, guys. Relax.
I told you I've seen the Bananas Foster woman catch on her jacket catch on fire. I wonder if fajitas. I wonder if any waiters or waitresses ever been carrying out a plate.
But fajitas don't have flame.
Right.
Well, it seems like they do.
No, I know, but they just put water in so it's all steam.
All right, okay.
Whereas Bananas Foster,
it's a fire.
That flame, yeah. I mean, that is right next to you.
I just saw, because it was and her jacket just went, it was like, poof.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't really, you couldn't really see the flame, you just saw the sizzle.
Right.
And
it's just kind of disappearing.
Yeah, it was like burning, like a circle burn.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It was and it was growing up, and I was like, wow, he just got her jacket on fire. I mean, they brought out a tray to make this Bananas Foster.
Oh, yeah, it's always a big thing.
Yeah, it's table side. I mean, that's why they call it table side.
And her jacket was on the back. In a waterfront seafood restaurant.
Oddly enough.
Down by the park, yes. This is many years ago. Many years ago. What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
This Bosch 2-in-1 impact driver rules.
Oh, yeah!
That couldn't have been. Macho Man Randy Savage indeed. Yeah, a.k.a. You're in a Bosch. I'm a macho manifestation of that feeling you get when you use that 2-in-1 impact driver.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, say it with your chest, brother. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
Well, we'll work on that.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
When you're on the go and it's time to refresh your energy, grab an ice-cold Celsius, where 0 sugar, 7 essential vitamins, and proven ingredients meets pure refreshment. Unlike traditional energy drinks, each sip of Celsius is a perfect balance of flavor and function. So, whether you're hitting the gym, the office, or your next adventure, grab a Celsius at your local retailer or visit Celsius.com to learn more.
No matter why your clients give, a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360 makes charitable giving simple and efficient. They can get a tax deduction upon funding an account, and their assets can potentially grow tax-free as they recommend when and where to give. DAF Giving 360 has over 25 years of expertise bringing donors, financial advisors, and charities together to make a greater impact. Learn more at dafgiving360.org/advisors.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines non-stop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
But teacher, when are we ever going to use math in the real world?
With Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on AutoTrader, you don't have to. At least not car math. Hit the road with confidence knowing exactly what you're going to pay each month for your car. AutoTrader.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
What was on fire? What do you believe started at 206-803 Rock? I do remember one appearance. I've told the story before, but I'll make it quick. I'm at the Zoo in Dundalk. It's a suburb in Baltimore. This bar is famous for having in all of the cover bands.
It's a bar called the Zoo.
Yes.
ZU.
Yeah. Right. All the local talent in the area, all the touring acts that are coming in that are not big enough to play the bigger venues, but are going to play the Zoo.
Yeah.
Including all the tribute bands. So they had one, and the radio station I was working at the time hosted the band that night. I can't remember. KISS Tribute, Hotter Than Hell, might have been Dr. Love, Strutter, Deuce, one of those.
Right.
Anyway, so I get there a little bit early, and I'm talking to the owner, and the band is loading in, and you don't realize at the time, because we kind of help the band load in because we're already there early. Yeah. The station's setting up their van besides, their box truck where they're unloading all the crap. One dude is bald. Pretty well-built guy. It turns out he's Gene Simmons.
All right.
Like, you don't realize when you're, loading in that these are the guys.
These are the band, yeah.
He puts on a wig, though. I mean, he looks like Gene Simmons when he puts all the stuff on, but right now he's just some bald dude who looks like a mover. All right, so we help him move all the stuff in. And everybody in that band, they had a different job. So if I recall correctly, the lead singer, the Paul Stanley of the band, he was the guy who set up the sound system.
Okay.
The drummer, the Peter Criss of the band, they had a lit up KISS sign.
Yeah.
And he did all the lighting. So all the floor lighting, all the top lighting, he was in charge of all of that. Gene Simmons, whatever he did, I know for a fact that Ace Frehley, because of the story, he was the guy in charge of the pyrotechnics.
Okay. Did you know they were going to have pyrotechnics at this show?
I knew they were setting up those things that look like
Those little
strips
pods,
in
yeah.
the back. You know what I mean?
All right.
Like little mini firework things. And they were up front, so they gave them room in the back for those things to happen. And there were a couple that were a little bit more close. But either way, the idea of the zoo, ZU, get it? They had all these stuffed animals that were on a ledge around the entire perimeter of the bar that were zoo animals. Giraffes, elephants, you name it. They're all stuffed animals going all the way around the bar. That was kind of their gimmick, right? So I get up on stage, and like, ladies and gentlemen, here's Hotter Than Hell. And they start with Detroit Rock City. Now, that tune is about 10 seconds in before a pyrotechnic is going to blow. All right. So it's that's the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
We are 10 seconds into the show. And the guy, the Ace Frehley guy who set up the pyrotechnics, set them up too close to where Gene Simmons, the Gene Simmons character, was standing.
Damn it.
And basically blew what looked to me like a Roman candle ball up his back, blew up the middle of his wig, ricocheted off the back of his hair, all right? And then went up onto that ledge.
With the stuffed animals?
And immediately 3 stuffed animals catch. Now, This
is 10 seconds in.
This is 10 seconds. This is a sold-out show. Honest to God. This place is packed, all right? Now, I look up, and I'm like, oh, Schmuff, because I'm saying, the bar's on fire, bro.
Schmuff's the dude who owns it.
Yeah, it's his bar.
Oh.
Yeah, the
I'm
look
like,
on Ted's
Schmuff,
face.
your bar's on fire.
What did you? I've never heard you say, oh, Schmuff.
Oh, Schmuff.
Oh, Schmuff.
I stepped in a pile of Schmuff.
Schmuff, the bar's
Sweet
on fire.
corn nuggets.
It's Bob Schmuff, the same guy I couldn't get.
Your bar's on fire, son.
It's the same
I'll
guy.
do declare.
It's the same guy that I couldn't get to pay me because he infected.
No, I know. I've never heard the name. And
Yeah.
I'm just envisioning you going, oh, Schmuff.
Schmuff. I'm like, Schmuff, the place is on fire, dude.
I mean, well placed. You didn't use the S word. It just was odd.
Okay, now at this point
like
in
a
time,
Smurf.
Gene rips off his battle axe base because he's trying to put his wig out. Right now, at this point in time, you got Gene's. Okay, to make matters worse, you've got bald Gene Simmons on stage. All right, so his makeup is fully done.
But he has no hair.
He looked like George the Animal Stealer. So I can't explain what bald Gene Simmons with makeup on looks like until you see, like, he almost looks like he's in whiteface,
Right.
blackface, whatever. But he's totally bald because he's got the wig and he's beating the wig, all right, on the stage, on the monitor to try to put it out. All right, he's patting his back to make sure that he's not on fire. Meanwhile, the fire is growing. Schmuffy runs into the kitchen and grabs his fire extinguisher. When he's running back into the kitchen, the Gene Simmons guy, after taking his axe base down, he goes over to the Ace Frehley guy, and it looks like he's going to whisper in his ear because he's leaning into him, and he punches him and knocks him out because he's the guy in charge of the pyrotechnics. So now Ace Frehley goes down, okay?
What is the crowd doing with all this? I mean,
It's chaos, right? So to make matters worse, there's still smoke from the pyrotechnics, all right, in this bar. And then Schmuffy runs up on stage and starts blowing all the stuffed animals with a fire extinguisher, which creates a different kind of cloud.
Right.
Especially when the fire is being put out with this stuff. So there's all this smoke on stage. Ace Frehley's now on his knees trying to get up. Gene Simmons is storming around pissed off. Now,
bald Gene, yeah.
Yeah, bald Gene. So they get everything taken care of. And Schmuff gets those stuffed animals out. They open up the doors. They tell everybody to walk outside for a minute. 25 minutes later, they are ready to come out and do the show again. They have made up outside the parking lot. All right. So I again have to
kidding me?
I again have to go up there. And basically the deal they made was no pyrotechnics tonight. We're not going to do it. But I had to go up and bring them up again. The place smelled like, burnt plastic hair. I mean, it was just...
Right.
It was just one of the weirdest nights ever. I mean, 10 seconds in, boom, guy gets punched, guy's throwing his wig, beating it on the stage.
I really wish I had seen that, man.
It was just like, I'm just like, this is the craziest crap I've ever seen in my life. It was insane. What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Nate. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hola.
So I am a professional fire-breathing evil clown, and I developed this character about 20 years ago, and I work for a lot of haunted houses. This season I was working for Nightmare Nile up in Mount Lake Terrace.
All right.
And my clown suit is specifically designed to extinguish fire in case there's any sort of emergency. And occasionally I will get, like, and I also have I had a pretty extensive goatee at the time, which is, extra risk when you're breathing fire.
Had, yes.
And, yeah, occasionally, I'll get, because I'm soaking fuel all the time, occasionally I'll get, a little spark or whatever, and it'll ignite, and I just use my clown suit to put it out, and I keep on with the show. Well, it was the last show of the season this year, and I was going really hard, and my beard caught on fire just a little bit. I went to extinguish it with my clown suit, and then it didn't go out, and I didn't notice it. And by the time I had taken another mouthful of fuel and expelled all the fuel, my beard was on fire quite a bit. And then I was able to get it put out. I didn't break character, obviously, because I'm a performer. And then laughed hysterically and maniacally about it, and then continued on with the show.
Did you keep your beard?
Yeah, I lost a little. I had to go to the barber and get it, evened out. And now, that it's getting springtime, I'm rocking epic mutton chops instead of the goatee.
Probably good call.
Oh, yeah. Have I ever stapled money to you?
You have.
Yeah. All right, I figured that's
That is not a question I expected.
How did you remember this?
Well, there's only so many clowns fire-breathing working in this industry. And then also when he said the mutton chops, I remember for one of our Red festivals, stapling, he's taller and he has, like, legit...
I remember you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
It's a weird way.
Years ago.
That was a long
It was
time ago.
Well, you're
man.
the only guy I've ever stapled money to.
That's how Ted remembers.
Okay, tell me, that's got to hurt a little, right?
So it's, again, it's like a stage show thing. You use shallow staples. You don't get the 1-inch staples. You get the 8-inch staples.
But, dude, I remember you. You were carrying like a gallon jug of alcohol with you before you did any of this.
Yeah, it's actually lamp oil. I use it's a kerosene.
Oh.
And actually, I have caught myself on fire another time in a haunted house situation when I was experimenting to get bigger flame. I was using avgas. I was adding that to my, not avgas, sorry, Jet A. I was adding Jet A to my lamp oil to get bigger fireballs.
Now, how do you get into
way too much lamp oil, and I ended up catching the whole left side of my face on fire. But at that time, I was wearing so much latex that there was no damage at all.
How do you get into fire breathing? Is there like a fire breathing school, or you just kind of look it up online and give it a shot?
I am. The more people tell me who I am, I'm a kind of a weird guy. Always to the extreme.
Wait a minute.
My regular gig
A
is
fire-breathing
I am
clown?
a professional skydiving instructor is my regular gig.
Oh, someone's going to trust your ass in a clown outfit.
Have you ever
catching yourself on fire?
Have you ever?
Yeah, I'll jump out of a plane with that guy.
Have you ever gone skydiving in your clown outfit?
Yes, I have several times.
Okay.
I can email you guys videos.
What did you parachute into? I have to ask, like a kids festival or something?
So I do it professionally. So there's usually there's a drop zone is what it's called. I've worked at facilities all over the country. And there's a specific landing area, specific planes, pilots, facilities. I'll teach people from the ground up how to skydive solo by themselves, or I just strap them to the front of me and then throw them out of a plane. That's the tandem. That's kind of where the bread and butter of the sport comes from.
How many times have you missed the target? Like every once in a while, you'll see a video, a guy dropping into the NFL stadium, supposed to land on the logo, completely whiffs and ends up, in the crowd or something.
I would say my accuracy is probably about 90%. I mean, sometimes you have unexplained weather conditions that'll affect stuff. I have landed out before because I wasn't completely paying attention and the pilot had us too far out, or I was a little ambitious. And sometimes with teaching students, you'll end up pulling a lot lower than you want to because you have to take care of your student, and that could prohibit you from landing exactly where you want to land. But for the most part, I can land on a quarter.
What's the percentage of time where you have to bicycle out of a tangled situation?
So in over 6,000 jumps over the years, I've only had 14 emergency parachute rides, and there's a handful of them was me trying to learn how to wingsuit. So that opening a parachute and wingsuiting is not it's a lot different than just regular skydiving.
Do you go by Spazzo the Clown?
Yes.
Okay, because someone here says Spazzo the Clown rules. I just wanted to make sure that you were the...
Do you do children's parties? What does Spazzo the Clown do besides?
I do. I mean, I'll do anything you pay me to do. And then if I'm doing children's parties and stuff like that, I definitely tone down the makeup with less, burn scars and evil teeth and all that other stuff.
I mean, I know you couldn't do it, but it would be kind of awesome as like the evil clown, and you just parachute into something random.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
that's going to happen in life. I mean, there's designs for that. I've been thinking about trying to do some sort of haunted house event where I can actually organize to jump in and then start with my gig right away.
Now, has anyone paid you to surprise parachute into something? Like, if we're doing Red Festival, we don't know you're coming, and all of a sudden, a crazy clown drops out of the sky. Has anyone given you money for that?
So the feds are involved in this sort of situation, right? So you got the FAA.
Oh, right.
In order to do demos, is what they're considered as, you have to file a NOTAM, which means notice to airmen, and you have to have permission from the landowner. There's just like a little red tape that you got to go through, and then we'll come out there with the safety team, and we walk the landing area and make sure that it's actually safe to pull off. Because as you said, I mean, you've seen videos of people jumping into stadiums, and it didn't go as good as they thought.
Right, yeah. By the way,
so,
Spazzo...
I mean, basically, it's like, hey, this is what we want to do. We call our pilots. We talk to our people. We come in. We figure it out if it can be done, and then we do it.
All right. By the way, Spazzo, Evil Santa says hi.
Yeah.
Seems like you guys know each other. That's cool, man. Mm-hmm. I like that. That is very interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a real job skydiving instructor. Because my man likes adrenaline.
What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Kim. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So, long-time listener, first-time caller. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that guy.
You can't.
My story's not nearly as exciting. So, about 33 years ago, I was living in Ohio, in the Ohio Valley, and I had to buy a car. I bought a really cheap car to get back and forth to work. It was I want to say it was a 77, what was it? It was a 77 Mercury Cougar.
Dang.
It had like a really big giant hood that I could barely see over. I'm only 5'2", and so
and you drove that big ass car. Okay.
I did, yeah. Anyway, so I live kind of in the country, and I work kind of in a smaller, larger city, and you have to go through all these country roads to get there, and it was winter time, and so there's a lot of snow on the road and snow drifts and whatever, and I'm driving, and it's dark, it's early in the morning, and I can smell something, like I can just, this odor, and I don't know where it's coming from. And so I'm just still driving because I'm young and stupid, and I got to get to work. I'm like 22 years old. And all of a sudden, the carpet on the passenger floor starts on fire. Like there's a flame on the floor on the passenger side. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, my car's on fire. I pull over the side of the road, and I don't know what to do. I don't have a fire extinguisher. So I start throwing snow from outside onto the floorboard. And then, so I had some friend of mine come and get me and had the car towed, and it turned out that the catalytic converter had been, clogged, and that it had gotten so hot, and that it had gotten so hot that the floorboard got so hot that it actually started the carpet on fire.
What did you think had set the carpet on fire initially? Like, if you're a smoker, you go, oh, my God, it must have been an ember. I mean, did you think, like, your car was possessed? Are you driving Christine?
So, again, it was 33 some odd years ago, so I don't really remember exactly what I was thinking, but I just remember that freaking out, like, how in the world does my car just start on fire? I had no clue mechanically, like, what was going on with my car, and then all of a sudden it just started on fire. I had no idea.
Yeah, I'd be freaked out, too.
Yeah, I think you're right to freak out.
That's a weird area of the country to drive in a snowstorm, too, because the way the snow drifts work, you can't see. You could be on a 2-lane road, like she's saying, come around a curve, and the road is gone.
Right.
Because there is a 3-foot high snow drift if they don't have snow fences up around those areas.
Yeah.
And that's where the snow just sticks.
And that's it.
You can't believe it's the road. Sometimes you can't even get by it.
Yeah.
We're joined in studio by VD, who ran in for us. Exciting update.
14 years old. I'm working the drive-through at Burger King, my first job. So I didn't go to BK University.
Okay.
But you could work, and I worked the drive-through. So one weekend, my parents, family, all out of town, and they said, "Oh, don't worry, somebody can give you a ride home." Sure, not a problem. I asked one of the shift supervisors. She's getting ready to leave for the day. She drives this POS, and I mean like a 79 Monte Carlo Cutlass Supreme, whatever.
Somebody would die for that car right now.
Mm-hmm. They would. We get in the car and we're driving, and I can smell it. I'm like, "Do you smell gas?" Because yeah, I smelled it before. I'm like, that's weird. We're sitting at a stoplight. Mind you, where the Burger King was and where I lived was maybe about 3 miles apart.
All right.
Smoke starts pouring out from under the hood as we're sitting at this stoplight in this forest preserve district where there's not really anybody around. There's a few cars in front of us, and then I see flames pop out under the hood. I try to open the passenger door. The passenger door handle on the inside is broken. The window does not roll down. There's people next to me saying, "Hey, you're on fire." I'm like, "Get me out of this car!"
Yeah. You have a pair of pliers there to get that window down?
It's the last time I accepted a ride from anybody I worked with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess
Anybody.
So.
Yeah.
How long were you stuck in the car while it was on fire?
It felt like about 3 hours.
Right.
It was probably more like about 45 seconds. But, I mean, that was long enough.
Did you think that was it? This is how I die.
I couldn't get the door open, so I can just tell you that at some point I was ready to push her fat ass out of the way and climb over her. That was rude. Sorry.
Well, that's what happened when my car blew up. So when my car blew up and threw a rod, and the entire block cracked into 7 to 8 million pieces, the rod shot through the hood, and then the floorboard fell out. But when the floorboard fell out of the
and
car...
you're moving, right?
Oh, I'm going 65 miles an hour. It was on fire, too. So, I'm looking down at the road, man. I'm driving a stick, and there's no place to put my feet. I mean, it's Fred. I'm Fred Flintstone in this thing, man, if I wanted to.
Right.
If I put my feet down, I'd have snapped my leg off. Because it's going so fast. But, man, then I lifted up the hood. There's nothing inside, but the hoses that were left there are all on fire. Anything that was left underneath that was completely on fire. And I'm just like, well, it blew the hood up.
Sure.
So when it blew the hood up, that kind of helped ignite the fire.
Yeah, of course.
Provide
oxygen.
Even more. So, when I pulled over, I mean, the whole inside was just... I look back, there's just chunks of the engine just laying all over. People are swerving to avoid this. It looked like a meteor crashed.
What kind of car was this?
Golf. Frickin' Volkswagen.
Damn. What was the guy's line?
Boy, I ain't seen nothing like that since a Challenger exploded.
Oh, damn.
That's the guy behind
The trucker behind you, right?
me up.
Just like, gracious, that guy's in trouble.
Yeah. But I could eventually, once the hood was so hot, but once we both tried to put the hood down, I was able to drift it before he pushed me.
Right.
Because I was on a downhill slope. So, I could drift the car on the side of the road.
And there's still nothing below you.
Well, there was an exit down there where a gas station.
No, I mean,
he
in the car.
He had to push me up the exit. Oh, no. There's nothing. I'm telling you, it was a Fred Flintstone experience. What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
This Bosch 2-in-1 impact driver rules.
Oh, yeah!
That couldn't have been.
Macho Man Randy Savage indeed. Yeah, a.k.a. you're in a Bosch. I'm a macho manifestation of that feeling you get when you use that 2-in-1 impact driver.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, say it with your chest, brother. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
We'll work on that.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest, 100% organic cotton sheets from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with sheets that feel breathable to sleep in. You'll experience the purest softness on night one and feel your sheets get even softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with code Odyssey. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Daily Mix Show did a hell of a tribute to Bob Rivers.
That was great this morning, man.
Check it out now if you get the Daily Mix download at KISW.com, Odyssey.com, and on the Odyssey app. It was a very cool show. And BJ stopped by for a while. A lot of memories about guys that work with Bob, inspired by him through the years. It was a...
you think Bob inspired him to eat Tim Tams?
BJ?
Yeah.
No,
dude has a notorious sweet... Yeah, he has a notorious sweet...
Tim Tams.
Oh, my God, you guys have Tim Tams?
Didn't even say hi.
Yeah.
Just came in and started eating cookies.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
Yeah, quote, Tim Tams. So we'll grab a few.
Like, take him home. He's like, no,
because I'll eat them. We're like, well, that's the idea, man. But no.
That's why they're still sitting on that desk, and nobody else is taking them home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, tribute to Bob this morning. So check out the Daily Migs download at Odyssey and Odyssey.com. All right, question: what was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So I had an original story, but I thought of my my career, and this one's better. So I was this was in the late 70s over in Spokane. Had just moved there from Medical Lake. I grew up out there, and so I go to this big high school. It was like, huge, and I'm a drummer, right? So I'm in band. And I was also how do I be PC on this? I was an entrepreneur, right? I sold...
You sold drugs?
No, I sold green motor parts, man. So I had like baggies of green motor parts, right? So I don't know anybody in this school, right? So these guys find out, that I sell motor parts, and they say, let's step into the auditorium here and check it out. And the door between the band room and the auditorium, it leads you right onto the stage. So we get out there, and there's these two guys with that butane refill bottle.
Yeah.
And he had like 3 straws pushed together, and he was filling up his cheeks with butane, and then the other dude was holding a lighter, and they were sitting front and center of the stage. The auditorium's empty. And he's blowing this fireball, and it's going about 30 feet out over the seats, right? And I'm like, I'm just there to, like, meet some people and do my thing, right? And then this genius decides he's going to turn around and blow it backstage. And unbeknownst to everybody, there are velvet curtains on the back wall.
Yeah.
That as that fireball hit the curtains, they caught fire. And we got the out of there, and these guys they're like seniors, right? I'm a sophomore. I'm the new kid at school, and they're pointing at me like, "Don't you say a word," with expletive words that obviously I can't say on radio, but maybe you can. And man, the auditorium caught fire, and it was like every time those guys would see me in the hall, they was like, "Shut your mouth! You better keep your mouth shut." And that's my story.
How bad was the burn? Was the fire alarm pulled? Did anyone have to evacuate or what?
They evacuated the whole school.
Okay.
It was like, I don't know if it was 5 alarms, but the truck showed up. They went in the auditorium, and it was like and then there was the big announcement, if you know anything or know anybody, and I'm just like, oh, man.
Here we go.
I'm going to jail or something.
Well, you didn't do anything. And honestly, you might have been witness to it, but you weren't responsible for what happened.
Right.
So there's a difference.
Yeah, I witnessed it.
You don't say I was up there selling weed and I saw this.
Yeah.
You were, but you weren't witness to it. What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Oh, so I was just selling weed, man. I had nothing to do with the fire, bro.
You can test my hand.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So my story is my wife and I are building a house. And we live in an apartment right now. And a few months ago, we went out to dinner. And on our way back home, we were going to just go back home to the apartment. And we decided, well, let's go check on the house. They did some work today. So on our way out there, it's about 7:30. Pull up to the driveway, get into the house, walk through the laundry room. And the first thing I see is light coming from the kitchen area. And we have no power in the house except for a fan. Yeah, I look around the corner, and there's flames coming out of the floor in the kitchen.
Oh, man.
Whoa.
They had left the heater going in there after they did the work on the walls and had wrapped the whole entire wire and plug with paper and tape. The thing had got so hot from running for so long, it caught the whole thing on fire.
How much damage did it do to the house, man?
I was lucky enough that it just started. I ran in and I stomped it out with my feet.
And did you make a phone call when you got home?
Oh, yeah. We made a phone call right then and there to our builder.
And so I'm assuming they cover the cost and all that, right?
They did, yeah.
Do you realize how much money you saved them?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not you. Somebody else was going to pay for that, but it was not going to be you.
Yeah.
Damn.
So that thing would have burned to the ground if you guys hadn't swung by just to take a peek, yeah?
Exactly. I mean, we were probably 5 minutes away from watching the whole thing be on fire.
Are you close to being able to move into it?
We are. We're probably about 2 weeks.
So then 4 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how that goes. Okay.
All right, buddy, man. That's a good thing you swung by.
What was on fire? What do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jamie. Welcome to the men's room.
This is my pleasure. Hola.
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 Man, I've tried to get a hold of you guys many times. I thought I was going to win those tickets to Godsmack. Didn't happen, so maybe I'll have a chance with Volbeats when you guys start doing it. Anyway, great parents. I'm in Sacramento at my mom and dad's place. While my dad's still working full-time, and on weekends he goes up to Lake Elmore building their retirement home. Me being the youngest of four boys, he decides that, maybe I was on the short end, and he wants to give me his company work vehicle, which was a 76 Honda Civic. He rebuilt it when it had, 785,000 miles on it.
Jesus.
He takes me outside and, walks around, and it's in great shape for, this is 1985, 86. And he shows me you put a toggle switch in, and when you're running around local traffic thing, it heat up. Don't hot rod it around. So, oh, no, Dad, I won't. I roll into San Lorenzo, California, where I grew up, and hadn't seen people for about a year, and go in a local bar because I'm old enough. And then someone fires up a big old green bud doobie. Pot and alcohol don't mix with me. So, the bar closes. I go get in the Honda. I fire it up, warming it up. I fall asleep.
Oh, no.
I don't know how long I was asleep, but I hear tap, 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 tap on the window, and I'm like tasting burnt oil on my head. And then it's bam, bam, bam. Your car's on fire. Your car's on fire. I'm like, hey, oh, wow. And I look out the windshield, and the smoke's 400 yards in the air, mile in the air. And I'm like, no way. I turn on the accessory, and I hit the toggle switch. That was well done. I popped the hood, and I know you just don't open because it could be bad. It was like taking a drag off a cigarette. That's how red the engine was.
Damn. You're lucky you're alive.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, my God. I have this car 4 days. for the next 3 weeks, I'm pushing them.
The hell with that. The car had 700,000 miles on it. It survived World War I, and you blew the damn thing up in less than a week.
Miles, and when he gave it to me, he had 409 or 399. And this thing flew like a little kitty cat.
That was the end of that.
Now, my thing is, okay, I screw up, as parents don't get a call, but I pushed that car between parking lots to the bar, behind the bar, to the mobile gas station, behind the grocery store, until I could finally have a buddy, get it to the junkyard, because it was done.
I figured so.
Months go by, and then I get a call from my dad. God damn it, I heard what you did. Jesus, when you gonna...
At the time, I didn't plan on telling you. Right. That's why I didn't tell you. Mm-hmm. By the way, got a text here. This is crazy. I was addicted to meth. I lit a building on fire in the greater Seattle area with 50-plus people in it because I was hearing voices and psychosis. I went to prison. Luckily, nobody was injured. No more meth. Don't do drugs. Damn.
Wow. What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Juan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Well, my story is we were at my ex-sister-in-law's house, and her husband and I were outside. Well, to paint the picture, my sister-in-law is an awful cook. She could burn water.
All right.
I mean, she's the type of cook that'll turn the flame on to like super high to simmer something and walk away from the kitchen. And so her husband and I are outside, and we're like, working on some piece of machinery or something. And I look up and I look towards the kitchen. There's like a 3-foot flame on top of the stove. And we're like, whoa! So we both run in the house and like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I just turned on the fire and walked away for a minute. Don't you know you don't walk away from a burning flame? And yeah, and that was her cooking method. On high and walk away.
Wow, that explains why she's so bad.
Yeah. I hardly ever ate anything she cooked because it was just like, it was either burnt or charcoal or just raw. So it's just like, I think I'll go get a burger or something.
Does she know she sucks at cooking?
I don't know. I don't know. And it's just one of those things. It's my ex-wife's sister, so it's just like, I'll be nice, but I think I'm going to go to Taco Bell, and if I have a stomach ache at Taco Bell, I'll know why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know the people in your family's food that you should not eat or stay away from.
Absolutely.
Like the turkey that was basically undercooked for one Thanksgiving.
Oh.
I was like, man,
who made that?
Oh, a relative of mine.
Relative?
Yeah. And he did everything that I didn't want. So it was like a German potato salad style scallop potatoes.
All right.
So no cheese really, but just kind of like more German style, but still cooked.
Okay.
If that makes any sense, because typically if you have German potato salad, it's cold.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was the same. Yeah,
but it was warm.
It was baked in the oven, but it was done that way. The potatoes were terrible. They tasted like vinegar. The turkey was undercooked. Just about everything about that.
Did they recognize that the turkey was undercooked?
I knew when we were invited over there that this was going to be a horrible situation. I knew from going out to dinner with them and what they ordered.
Okay.
That this was going to be a terrible situation.
And you were right.
It was a terrible situation.
I mean, if you're sitting at dinner with an adult and they order like what a child orders, then I'm going to assume they don't really cook.
Yeah, generally speaking.
Correct. And not only that, Ted, but it's Thanksgiving. And working on Thanksgiving, we've all done it in radio.
Sure.
Look, Christmas, believe it or not, you can find plenty of places to go get food.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thanksgiving after 2 or 3 in the afternoon, there is nothing open.
Nothing's open.
Nothing. So not only did we really not eat, but now we're starving, and there's no place just to go pick something up, and just bring it home, whatever it is.
Is it awkward in the moment?
Like even Royal Farms didn't have subs. Nothing was going. But nothing was open.
Is it awkward when it's like, look, no one's going to eat the food that's on the plate. This whole thing's terrible. I mean, did the host feel bad? Were they embarrassed? Or,
no, they seemingly did not care, and seemingly did not ask why we didn't eat that much.
So they're eating undercooked
You know
turkey.
that apartment I had in Baltimore, man. You could open up that refrigerator and you could yell echo in it, and it would echo for days. There was no food. I had no food. Not a drop of food. I didn't have ketchup. Nothing. I had nothing.
Because Christmas night too, people go out.
Yeah, you go to the
You're
bar,
around families, right? And also there is a religious aspect, so not everybody celebrates it.
Right.
But Thanksgiving, if you're an American, everybody gets it. And
Everything's
credit, I get it. I think it's awesome that everything closes. But yeah, I got off one night at 10 or 11 from a radio shift. Same thing. I got a turkey sandwich from a gas station. It was awful. Awful. That was probably the most saddest, pathetic holiday of my life.
What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Well, then I got home to a whole empty row house.
Right.
The wind's whipping through. It's like whistling. I mean, it was like a bad movie.
And you're eating a dry-ass turkey sandwich from a gas station.
Dry-ass turkey sandwich. I live with a bunch of college students, so there's nothing else in that fridge. But I mean, trust me, I tried 5 fast food places. Nothing was open.
Nothing's open, man.
What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So in 2000, joined the Sprinkler Fitters Union down in Seattle, and we had at our first night of apprenticeship training, we had a burn room. And what we do is we set a fire, sets the sprinkler head off, and extinguishes a fire. Well, we had gone through our allotted sprinkler heads for the night, and so we're all looking around okay, what are we going to do? The guy's like, well, hey, I got another sprinkler head in my car. Let me run out and grab one. What we didn't understand at the time is a high-temperature sprinkler head meant for a cooking environment where the temperature is already over 200 degrees. So when the fire starts, then it goes off.
Right.
Well, we're sitting there burning away, and the head's not going off. One of the bright guys goes, we'll grab a rag, and we'll light it on fire and put it through the bars of the sprinkler head. We proceed to catch the roof of the sprinkler room on fire.
Oh, no. But none of the sprinklers work.
Well, the sprinkler head was a high-temperature head. It wasn't going to go off. The room already had to be at 200 degrees, and then a fire started.
Also, the roof is above the sprinkler head. So even if the sprinkler head would have worked, by the time you're burning above it.
Yeah, the room is designed like a shower, and we're designed to teach us how the sprinkler head works.
Yeah.
So normally you put a normal temperature head in, it's only 155 degrees.
So when the
fire starts...
Well, you guys surely have to have fire extinguishers, right?
I would think if you're installing sprinklers.
Yes. It's at the school. Yeah, we pulled it. We pulled the rag back out and just scorched the roof of the room, but definitely not what we intended to do.
Okay, have you had success stories about these things working and keeping a building from burning down that you've installed?
Not that I've installed. There's different stories that are on the web and all that stuff. So I've never been in that I know of one systems I've installed work.
Okay. All right. I'm just looking around to see. I know we've got them in here.
Where are our sprinkler heads?
I don't think we have one in the studio.
I don't know. Do we not have them in the studios?
I don't think we got it in here now.
No.
Wait a minute. So if our studio bursts into flames, but it's in front of the door, what are we supposed to do?
Run out the door.
Well, I'm saying it's in front of the door. It's between us and the door. That's where the fire starts. There's no sprinkler system in there. So then what?
You can run through that.
Some caller will change their story. Mike will throw a chair through the window, and then we'll all jump out.
Or we'll take down that blanket. I'll pour water on it. We'll walk out.
What was on fire, and what do you believe started it? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Alan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
What's up, fellas?
All right, sir.
I just had to pick up some Black Raiders for you guys, some men's room. So,
Nice.
Nice.
So my first ex-wife and I were dating at the time, and we were young, 18 years old, 89, something like that. Anyway, I had an old canary yellow Super Beetle.
All right.
And got a flat tire on it. So we scrimp and save and buy a brand new tire for the right front. And later on that night, we're driving home. The car started acting a little weird and everything. I look in the rearview mirror and I see flames shooting up over the back of it because I figured we didn't have enough car stories. But the flames started shooting up into the back seat and up over the top. Pulled over. Car burnt to the ground. All the tires exploded. The windows exploded, everything.
Jesus.
Keys were molted on the floor. The only thing that survived was that right front tire.
the new one.
It killed me.
Yeah.
freaking kill me.
Oh, my God.
Well, at least you know you got a quality tire.
Exactly.
If nothing else.
Still to come, the return of Who Sucks Less. That is on the way at 4:30. And we've got your emails coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell ripe, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
I love the Marquette community. I think, it to me resembles a family of some sort.
You are coming to a place that is not only going to give you a great education, but I think it's going to make you a very well-rounded individual.
Especially because of the size, you can definitely find your people. I came in and it was open arms. While you're here, we're going to try to make you feel that same love and make this place home. We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
We are Marquette.
This podcast is brought to you by Kleenex Lotion Tissues. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex Lotion Tissues, you can be better prepared for them while helping keep your skin healthy. Whether it's a surprise sneeze or a stuffy nose, it's always good to have something gentle on hand. Kleenex Lotion Tissues moisturize to help prevent skin irritation while you're battling those unwanted cold and flu symptoms. It's extra care when you need it most. I mean, why not have one less thing to worry about when you're not feeling your best? For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hawaii is beautiful, but Tahiti is unforgettable. Escape to a paradise without the crowds and enjoy all-inclusive round-trip flights from the United States to Tahiti starting at $750 per person on Air Tahiti Nui, the world's most immersive travel experience. From the vibrant cabins to the warm and welcoming crew, you will be transported to the islands of Tahiti from the moment you step on board. Your perfect getaway is just 2 drinks and a movie past Hawaii. Visit airtahitinui.com, that's airtahitinui.com, to book your dream vacation.
Look around. Every car you see is probably on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars. As for flying cars, well, we're ready when they are. If you see a car you like, find it on AutoTrader. That's our kind of thing. AutoTrader.
Are you a bartender that dreads the phrase, "Hey, can you put the game on?" At Sports on What, we understand your pain and we're here to help. Over-the-air, satellite, cable, or streaming, Sports on What knows what channel the game is on, and you can too. Follow your favorite teams, set alerts, and filter by provider to get the results you need. Stop wasting time searching and never miss kickoff again. Just download the Sports on What app, and you'll always know how to watch the game. Available for Android and iOS. Start your 7-day free trial when you download Sports on What and subscribe today.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Who Sucks Less is on the way at 4:30, but first time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. Come on, from our question, what was on fire and what do you believe started it? Guys, I lost 99% of everything I had June 6, 2024. including my dad's ashes and 3 dogs.
Damn.
30 more seconds, and I would not be here. I had 30 seconds to get out. That from Michael.
Wow, man.
That's scary as hell. Bitches, I'm a carpenter. Years ago, I was installing cabinets in a multi-million-dollar home on Lake Washington, 3:30 in the afternoon. And there was kind of a horrible smell in the house. Painter was in the basement, lacquering doors in a room with no ventilation. Smell was so bad we left. We're not 5 minutes down the road when several fire trucks are coming the other way. My buddy pulled over to let them pass, and I looked in the side mirror. There was a huge smoke plume. He said, "That looks like the neighborhood we came from." I made a joke. Maybe someone went downstairs with a cigarette. Well, later that afternoon, get a call from our boss saying, "Hey, no work tomorrow." The house blew up.
Jeez.
The furnace was being used to heat the house, and when it kicked on, boom. Luckily, only 2 people were in the house at that point, and they both survived. Congrats, guys, on 20 years. That from Mark.
Damn, man. That's a little terrifying.
Hola, fellow dinosaurs. Here's another one from Klamath Falls. 1985, 16 years old. Me and 2 friends had some ground bloom fireworks. Got the bright idea to get the wrist rocket and shoot it into the air so it would take off like a rocket. Wrong. That thing shot straight down into a thick-ass shrub in front of the home. The ears of dry debris underneath instantly went up. Time stood still. Only took the fire department about 5 minutes to get there. The house went untouched, and the lady friend that was with us, she took the heat due to legal issues with me and my other friend. Good times and peace out. That from Raymond, the transplant from Klamath Falls. The more I hear from Raymond, the more I realize, Ted, all your stories are probably correct.
About Klamath Falls?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, you need to put out like a country album just called Klamath Falls and just write a song for each opinion you have.
If you just look up, well, full offense, Klamath Falls, screw it. If you look up a town in the Pacific Northwest where the trains used to go through and the rest of the world forgot about.
Klamath Falls?
Yeah.
That's a country song.
I mean, he's from,
is it like an old depressing, like Pennsylvania town? Like
you know
a
what,
West
Miles?
Virginia town that's died? Is like that?
That is a good call.
Okay.
Think of it as like Cumberland, Maryland.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, Klamath. That expression is, ooh.
Oh,
I've never been to Klamath Falls, but if it compares to Cumberland, Maryland, like that's never a compliment.
You know what's worse is Oakland, Maryland. That is the most depressing place I've ever been.
Never been to Oakland, Maryland.
Other than like
it's right past Deep Creek Lake.
Altoona, Scranton, Harrisburg's actually okay because it's a state capital.
Is it?
Shenandoah's an S-hole. I mean,
Pennsylvania has a lot of. There's
Allentown's
Philadelphia.
an S-hole.
There's Pittsburgh.
Pottsville's an S-hole.
The rest of Pennsylvania, man, you're just like, my God.
I mean, maybe there's better stories. I just have my buddy's story about getting the guy from Klamath Falls to help testify because he saw a crime. He shows up with just a stick and a plastic bag full of clothes, like he's a hobo. We parked there one night in an RV. We forgot to lock the things underneath, and those guys stole 330 packs from us. And then we're parked 4 spots away drinking it.
Drinking your beer.
We knew it was our Miller Lite. It's just like, Christ, I'm so done. I'm not going to go confront him. But I'm like, that's it. I don't know. I bet it was a lovely town before meth.
Okay. All right. A lovely town. Maybe that should be on the sign. You like to have, home of the Elks Lodge, Eagles. Great town before meth.
It's another country song for you, man.
I got to start writing these.
I'm telling you, you should. Everything sounds like a country song.
And you could do a country song and play with your ukulele.
I got to get a new uke.
What happened?
What happened to the other one, man?
So I told you, I found out. My buddy was helping me actually learn how to play it. It just, no offense, Aaron. It's just, it's a little cheaper. So it wasn't that I wasn't tuning it correctly. It just won't stay in tune once you play.
All right, okay. That's a problem.
So I got to put a little money in and get a new one.
On to the birthdays. Guys, can I get a happy birthday shout out?
What is my life?
To my guy, Half Squatch. Miss you, little buddy. Hope your year is filled with a lot of happiness and live shows. As usual, got to mention his small junk. LOL, happy birthday, Jackie. Can we get your penis is so small. Thanks, fellas. That from Jay. Ola wishing my amazing, funny, sexy, hardworking butcher meat manager husband, Chris, a very happy birthday today. I love you so much, baby. Lots of love from Shelley. Dealer's choice there, Mike, on whatever you want to get her husband, Chris.
Uh-oh, look out.
You,
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails. The subject is ticket stubs. Guys, catching up on the show on the Odyssey app. Sorry it took a couple days to get this to you. But I have in the past had my tickets sent to Will Call, and they give you a real ticket that you have as a souvenir of the concert of the show that you attend. Thanks for what you guys do, making me and my day so much more tolerable. Rock on and stop playing that effed up Africa song. Yeah. Thanks, guys. That from Jeff.
That's a great idea, man.
We were reminiscing on the fact that, back in the day, at least we can remember shows we went to because I collected every concert ticket.
I got a big old box full of all my that kind of thing. And it is crazy. Like, oh, God, that's right. I went to this show.
They should still give that to you as a souvenir, whether it works or not.
I agree. Right?
There's got to be the technology.
There is. It's called paper and ink. The technology's been around for 6,000 freaking years, man. They just won't do it. But he's right about Will Call, where it's like, all right, even if you bought the tickets and you're going to pick them up at Will Call, they do physically hand you ticket. And actually, that's a good point, man. I've been to a couple of different sporting events where like a buddy's like, hey, man, I'll get you on the list. Just go to Will Call and pick them up, right? And everyone else is in line with their phones and scanning all the crap on the apps.
Yep.
And I go to Will Call, you give them your name, and they hand me paper tickets.
And one more on losing track of time, this time in the instance in a divorce. Guys, a couple years ago, I was in the process of getting divorced. I was broke beyond broke and could not afford an attorney. We were a couple weeks away from going to court, and the mandatory pre-trial conference was on the schedule. Between trying to run a small business and being excited to get my kids later that day for the last day of school, I lost track of time and forgot to call in to the pre-trial conference.
Oh.
Now, I was lucky that the judge chose to not rule anything in that meeting, but I have no idea what he had in mind. In the end, I made a settlement out of court that gave me enough to get by for a year. She got the house, the vacation cabin, and kept literally millions of dollars of tech stocks. I was later diagnosed with avoidant ADHD. And my psychiatrist said I should ask an attorney how that impacts the legitimacy of the settlement. And was told, sorry, you signed it.
Yep.
Now she's retired and hanging out in a waterfront cabin while I'm working 2 jobs with no possibility of retirement. But I am loving every minute that I get to spend with my kids because it's on our own terms. Sucks financially, but I'm more emotionally content than I have been for a very long time. I rock on, guys. Love listening to you guys ever since we were teenagers. That from Doug. All right, coming up at 5:08, we will drink and toast with a shot of the day. But first,
now, the men's room wants to know who sucks last.
Hey, time for Who Sucks Last. Tina Thrill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They always suck, but it's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to like KISW on Facebook, X, and Instagram, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed, and we go to the southern part of this fine country of ours, the United States of America. We got 2 stories out of Florida, because Florida's Florida, and one out of Louisiana, which is where we'll start. A Louisiana woman forced her way into a male neighbor's home and sought to initiate a threesome with the victim and his girlfriend.
Okay. All right.
Ted, if you saw a mugshot, you'd understand why this is the story as opposed to, wow, I had a surprise threesome. There's no better way to put it. Picture a woman that looks like me.
So just mouth stuff.
Hi. Yeah.
Just mouth stuff.
Yes. I like where your head's at, man. Dispatched to a harassment complaint at an apartment complex, an officer was told by the man that upon answering a knock at his door, an unknown neighbor forced her way into the residence. Now, the woman began trying to have sexual activities with him and his girlfriend. Now, I don't know how this way. I don't know if she said anything or if she's just like ripping off her shirt and saying, let's get to it. Anyway, while the late night incursion did not result in any 3-way action, a woman did end up in handcuffs. Hey-o. A police canvass of the area, they located the female suspect at a nearby Circle K. She was identified by cops as Shadana Hurd, 31 years old. And the male victim, he confirmed that she was in fact the suspect because she looked like Muhammad Ali. Now, she was arrested and charged with unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling, which is a felony, and several misdemeanors, including disturbing the peace, criminal damage, and resisting an officer. She is locked up in the local parish jail. So that's what she did. Barged into the guy's place, said, I want a threesome. Now we go to Florida, where a woman was arrested for domestic battery after attacking her boyfriend because he declined to cuddle with her. Investigating Ted, I know you're a cuddler.
Yeah, I tried to cuddle.
This one might hit you close to home. Investigators say that the cuddle kerfuffle, it began when Jillian Oygen, she argued with her boyfriend regarding the victim's disinterest in the defendant engaging in physical intimacy. That is how the cops phrased that. The dispute reignited the next day in the couple's residence after Oygen continually tried to cuddle with the victim. Now, when the man rebuffed the cuddling, police say that Oygen escalated the dispute into a physical confrontation. She grabbed the victim's chest hair, not his chest, but his chest hair, scratched his face, bit him on the forehead, and broke his phone. Again, because he didn't want to cuddle. Now, after being read her rights, she admitted that she continued to touch the victim multiple times after being repeatedly told to stop. She characterized the touching as cuddling. She was arrested for domestic battery, which is a misdemeanor, booked into county jail. She was released from custody the next day by a judge who ordered her to, again, have no contact with the victim. All right, so she wanted to cuddle. He didn't want to cuddle. She got physical. Yeah. And then finally, a couple set to be married. They got into an argument over signing a prenuptial agreement that turned violent and resulted in the would-be bride's arrest for domestic battery. Investigators say that Molly Rose Hogan and the male victim, they were engaged in prenuptial quarrel in their St. Petersburg, Florida home. Now, the victim told cops that Hogan grabbed him around the head and struck him on the chest, torso, back, and legs, causing multiple physical injuries. The attack, the man said, was prompted by a heated argument over signing a prenup prior to marriage. Now, the victim, he did attempt to escape the defendant multiple times and was ultimately separated from Hogan by witnesses who corroborated his account of the incident. So, police say the one witness, which would be the victim's brother, was bitten on the arm by Hogan as he tried to stop her from battering his brother. Now, alcohol appears to have been a factor in the confrontation. Now, she was arrested for domestic battery and simple battery and booked into the county jail on misdemeanor counts. She was released from custody the next day, but the judge ordered her to have no contact with her future husband or brother-in-law. She will be allowed a one-time visit to her home with the company of police to retrieve her personal belongings. However, a wedding registry remains online, welcoming friends and family to join our epic journey. The registry seeks cash, gifts, help pay for the table centerpieces, the wedding cake, flowers, and an open bar. Apparently, the wedding's still on, or others haven't taken it.
Jeez, that sucks.
So again, like I said, these are not the worst things, but these are things that happen. We have the woman in Louisiana who barged into her neighbor's apartment trying to have a threesome with he and his girlfriend. The woman in Florida who basically beat, bit, and everything else of her boyfriend because he didn't want to cuddle with her, and I can't understand why. And then the other couple in Florida that got into a heated argument about a prenuptial agreement, and she basically tried to beat his ass as well.
Okay.
Well, I think
it's almost tougher when it's lightweight stuff.
Well, I think the way you're selling this is that the woman who wanted the threesome was so ugly you can understand why this was not a story for another time.
I mean, look, it's just one of those things. When you say it out loud, guys are like, hell yeah. But they had her mugshot, and I'm like, Jesus, God. No.
This was in Louisiana.
And I'm not kidding. She looks like Muhammad Ali.
Okay. But no violence.
She was not violent. I don't know. The story does not say how he got her to leave. Because keep in mind, she barged in. So
basically, it was like breaking and entering.
Well, she knocked on the door. He answered the door. Yeah, okay, she pushed her way in.
Okay.
It does not say anything about violence. We do not know how he got her to leave the apartment. Maybe he just said, hey, we're not interested. And she said, okay, and left.
Well, it sounds like the second story with a woman who wanted to be cuddled. First of all, she bit someone. So to me, especially on the forehead, that is not easy to do and not cool.
Well, I would agree.
What was his excuse for not cuddling? He just wasn't into it that night?
He just wasn't interested. I mean, and then he never really explained it. He's just like, look, man, I didn't want to cuddle. She wanted to cuddle. I did not want to cuddle. And then, she lost her mind.
Were they married?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
The other
no, they are not.
Okay.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Then the third story, they're engaged. So
correct.
Hopefully that's a warning sign to everyone involved that maybe this is not the best thing down the line.
Yeah, I think.
But you said
there's no chance.
The registry's still up, and apparently they're still going through with it. Hopefully that guy comes to his senses. I'll say in this instance, I think that the woman who, Cassius Clay, who came over to her neighbors and tried to initiate a threesome is the one that probably sucks the least. Based on the fact there was no violence.
Right.
I realized her intent was a little bit weird. But no one got
she got arrested.
No one got beaten up. Yep.
She did get arrested, and that's the thing, right? So she was arrested, charged with unauthorized entry of an inhabited dwelling. That's fine. And several misdemeanors, including disturbing the peace and criminal damage. So she had to have done something to get criminal damage.
I mean,
and she resisted an officer. Not the end of the world, but that's another charge sheet.
Oh, ironic. Now she's getting resisting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I would think too. I mean, it could be something simple. She messed up this door frame. But right. I'm imagining if you kind of burst into somebody's place demanding a threesome, and he says no, somewhere on the way out, she probably knocked something over.
That's a good possibility.
You miss it out.
You don't know what you get. No, I do. That's why I said no.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. The woman who attacked her boyfriend because he didn't cuddle, I think she sucks the most. She's destroying the cuddling community, as we call ourselves.
Yes, the cuddling community.
Right?
Now, Mike, you had a situation in your previous home where there's a dude who was crushing on your wife.
Oh, yes.
So
yes, I did.
You, more than any of us, I think, you relate to the idea of opening your door to a neighbor, barging in and be like, I want a threesome.
Was he a good-looking guy?
No. He was an ugly SOB.
So if he knocked on the door and was like, London Bridge, bro?
Look, that's a hard enough sell for me on the surface, and he had no business kind of making that proposition at all. So, yeah, I'm a little bit sensitive on that one.
Do you still have the note he left?
God, I hope she doesn't.
What if she framed it?
I would hang that over.
I would say, ironically, I think the woman in Florida, even though she beat up the guy and everything, if he's still going to marry her, then I'll say that sucks the least.
Wow. Well, I don't know. It's just the registry was still up the next day. But who knows? Maybe they got married.
See, I think the woman in Louisiana who forced her way in for the threesome, granted, while that nerve is hot, she didn't really hurt anybody.
No.
Other than the fact that, now you have an unsettling feeling that someone barged their way into your home to initiate a threesome. But if that's the worst of it, I think she sucks the least.
Debate continues on.
Sounds like she Kool-Aid manned it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Coming through. By the way, Miles on the text line says, Miles probably still would have.
Still do what?
The threesome with Muhammad Ali.
Come on in, baby.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sing like a bee.
Sting bee like a bee.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give you the rope and dope. God. Debate continues on Who Sucks Less if you like KISW on Facebook, X, and on Instagram. Shot of the Day's coming up at 5:08. You are listening to The Men's Room.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest, 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code Odyssey. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
As a small business owner, my favorite thing about posting a job on LinkedIn is that when I hit post, I clock out and LinkedIn clocks in.
LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, get qualified candidates, and manage them all in one place. Plus, LinkedIn extends the reach of your job post by allowing you to share it with your network. And hiring managers that add a hiring frame to their LinkedIn profiles receive 2 times more qualified applicants. Go to linkedin.com/message to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Want to travel like a savvy jet setter? No, that doesn't mean monogramming your passport. It means making smart decisions every step of your trip, which means knowing your options. Smart Travel unpacks the facts, like which booking sites actually save money, how to fly first class using points, and if that fancy travel card is a smart investment. All so you can save more on your next adventure. Follow Smart Travel from NerdWallet today and start traveling like a pro. What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids to a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Bob Rivers.
That was Bob Seger.
That was a good one, man.
Coming up at 5:08, we will drink a toast to the shot of the day. We do have your headlines all the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hogg and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. 53% of cannabis users admit to driving less than an hour after consuming cannabis.
I believe that.
I do too.
I do as well. And that was
That's not a good idea, but I believe it.
Is there a time frame they recommend?
That's kind of what the piece was talking about.
No, but I know. But I mean,
no, I know what you mean.
Right. I mean, they're the same thing. Like,
I got to get home.
Right. Like, not everybody in a bar is going to get drunk. Some people have 2 beers. They're going to drive. That's why we have legal limits. I'm saying, do they say, hey, if you wait 5 hours,
and that's kind of what the piece was about. It wasn't so much the recommendation of don't drive it within 24 hours of smoking, blah, blah, blah. But there was not any kind of social guideline as far as,
because it's hard to, like, you need to not be high.
Correct.
And depending who you are, how much, sometimes you can need an edible, like, maybe call an Uber, because you're going to be high basically the rest of your day.
Exactly.
You smoke some, you peak at some point, and then you start coming back down. So, I mean, it's
within an hour is not probably right, though.
An hour is probably not okay, yeah.
There's an article in Popular Science all about the simplicity of packing a bug-out bag.
I saw that. I read it.
Yeah, I read it too.
And links to every single thing that they're offering that you can buy right now.
Yeah. That's why the article was written.
Yeah, like every single one.
This kind of compass. Click here.
Yeah,
you can
right.
buy.
You can buy this right now. This is the one you want. You want this weather radio.
Put it in your bug-out bag.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a Yeti bag. And I'm like, damn, dude, that's an expensive bag.
Well, they had a couple of different bags, and all of them had links to that company's bag. Yeah.
What do you need? Clothes, food, gun?
So they actually said, that's what I thought it would be, but it's wrong. You want a compass, some way to communicate, but they said passports,
water
birth
straw.
certificate, right, the filter, water straw. So in addition to typical,
I have one of those.
survival stuff, it was also grab your important paperwork. I don't know.
This is kind of like a Red Scare old school thing that's now being kind of reintroduced. It has been for 15, 20 years.
If the S really hits the fan, like, I need your passport to go. Like, no, man, like I said, Dad, if I'm you, grab the gun.
There you go.
It's going to come in handy here if that's the case.
Mine's packed right now, Mike.
You ready to rock?
It's a gun, a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
And a cowboy hat.
They go together great.
You have the boots yet, Ted? Doggone it, man. We can't bug out if you don't have the freaking boots.
I want to run.
Can't run on these boots. A new study found that children that eat...
Basically, I'm not leaving. I got a bug-out bag. Like, screw it. I don't know who's knocking on the door, but let's have it out.
I was born in this apartment. I'll die in this apartment.
die here. You sons of...
A new study found that children that eat fish regularly tend to be kinder and more cooperative.
That eat fish?
Fish.
Huh.
Fish. I feel like that's one of those superfoods that they talk about all the time, too.
Well, you got your omega-3s and all that. Not that I know what omega-3s do. No idea. They keep saying it's good for it.
Good for your cholesterol.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those ones, too. If you get a kid started eating fish, they'll eat it, but...
It takes a hot minute for kids to get over that. Right. Like, you need to start that immediately. I can't imagine my son will eat pretty much anything you offer him. But if it's fish, he's a little more like, I don't know about this,
It's
man.
not for everybody, man. If you can't take the fish taste, you don't like any fish at all, ever.
Yep.
It's no smoking day.
No, sorry. I'm just like, as a kid, and I think this is just growing up in Maryland, like, just the way they prepare the seafood. Like, I ate flounder as a kid.
Nice.
We ate fish sticks.
Yeah. Definitely eat the fish sticks. You can get kids on fish sticks, but it's
just
like
breading.
anything else, right? It's breaded
Breading and tartar
whatever's
sauce.
inside. Yeah.
It's no smoking day.
You're kidding me.
All right.
I have had a brisket in since 10 o'clock this morning.
Doggone it. Well, good news is that it's only observed in the UK.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's no problem.
Our no smoking day is probably somewhere else down the line, but it's the UK's no smoking day.
I will not celebrate it.
So good. You're still gonna smoke that brisket?
Oh, yeah.
But if you smoke cigs, that would be pretty tough. Just pick one day and go, I'm not going to smoke today.
That's the day I'm going to be irritable.
Or
Right.
weed.
More
Or
irritable.
you smoke salmon. I mean, whatever you do.
Doctors have noticed an uptick in the number of cases of people mistaking super glue for eye drops.
How is there an uptick in this?
Because we're getting dumber.
No, it's all where you put your stuff, guys.
Right, but how is there an uptick is what I'm saying.
Super glue should be in like your toolbox, your crap drawer. It should be nowhere near your bathroom.
Right. And that's where your eye drop should be.
That's why I'm saying, why is there an uptick? What has happened that we said, hey, babe, keep the super glue next to the Visine? Like, that should not be a thing.
Because we're human beings and we just do stupid things that get us hurt in stupid ways. In fact,
the Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 of the most annoying common injuries. It's no secret that a lot of us play hurt because the game is on the line and we still feel that even if we're only at 80%, we can still have a positive impact. But when it gets right down to it and you're trying to force one into the net, the last thing, and I do mean the last thing you need, is a Charlie horse or a leg cramp. You see, with all that pushing and exertion at obtuse angles, bad things can happen. And not only did you let her down, you let yourself down. So hydrate, stretch. Let's add another notch to the old bedpost, shall we?
Attaboy VD, there's some good advice. Hydrate and stretch, man.
And keep notches on your bedpost.
That's right. Keep those notches going. 10 most annoyingly common injuries. Anybody here experienced an ACL tear or strain?
No.
I'm not.
Like in your knee?
Yeah. My cousin, I know when he was playing football, I don't remember if it was his MCL or his ACL, but he bugged that thing pretty bad, and he's got a screw.
I used to just blow out all the bursa sacs constantly.
Oh, yeah?
So anytime I got hit in the knee playing football or a baseball would hit it, it would just absolutely explode.
God.
It's all swollen.
Yeah, I was catching BP. Thing hit me right on the knee with pads on.
Oh.
Baseball foul tip, and that thing went, but no torn anything.
What does that do?
It basically releases all of the fluids that lubricate your joint, and they start dripping down into your calf and all the way down into your foot.
Oh, my God.
So you're swollen from the knee down.
And does that just heal on its own? Do they have to, inject a saline fluid in there or something?
Sometimes you can get it drained.
You can get it drained.
Which hurts.
Yeah, or you can elevate it. They put you in like a boot that is full with antifreeze, and then they pump that thing up and push all of that crap up into your thigh. That's what they did when I was dealing with that.
Anybody here strained a hamstring? Again, these are the 10 most commonly annoying injuries.
Thank God.
No kidding. Mine, I don't believe I've officially strained them, but after a good workout that I haven't worked out in a while, those things are screaming at me. I can't imagine them hurting too much more than that. Ankle sprains. Anybody here sprained an ankle?
Yeah, I've sprained my ankle.
Nine broke and 2 sprains.
Spraining an ankle's
horrible.
They even said that's like worse than breaking it.
Is spraining it.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, it is. No, as far as the healing time.
God.
Which is the only thing you care about when you're injured is what is the healing time, right?
6 weeks on a break, probably 9 on a sprain.
Plantar fasciitis.
Ooh, I've had that. Yep. That sucks.
Inflammation in the sole of the foot can cause intense pain in the heel, especially in the morning or after periods of inactivity.
8 to 9 month recovery.
Oh,
damn!
God.
I've had it twice.
Mercy.
It sucks.
No kidding. I think my mom had that for a while. Just needed foot rubs all the doggone time.
You wake up and you put your foot on the floor and you scream in the morning.
I will be honest, and also Dr. Scholl, some of those things really help with that stuff.
Okay.
It's really not going to get rid of it, but it'll...
Arch support and all that. And
there's
Birkenstocks, too.
There's certain things you can do for your foot or put on your feet that really help.
Gotcha.
Good feet store, man.
10 most annoying common injuries. Tennis elbow. Anybody here ever gotten tennis elbow?
Sure, all the time. I got it right now.
I'm not sure.
Inflammation or pain in the outside part of the elbow and can lead to weakness and difficulties gripping objects.
It just stings. Like I've got it right now. It just stings.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You got bitch-ass elbows. I've been saying that for years, man.
Anybody
Don't
here?
do flies. Don't do upright flies, man, with dumbbells.
Think of Miles with them bitch elbows.
Crap, I've been doing those a lot. Doggone it. Anybody here ever experienced shin splints?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Condition involves pain along the shin bone, often caused by overuse or improper training, and can be quite debilitating.
I'm going to check every box here, Ted.
Yes, you are.
Do you have them right now?
Except for the ACL. I've got every other one.
Right?
No, I mean, I don't have it now, but I've had it.
Shin splints, it's just so painful. You can't do much.
No kidding. I don't think I've ever
It
experienced
kind of
that
makes you a
before,
heel striker. So you get off your toes real quick.
Oh, God. God. Hip flexor strain. How about that, Miles?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Woot woot.
I had that last year.
Really?
I mean, it was so painful, like at night sleeping.
Right. It's
Like
just it's the base of the core right there. So the hip
Jesus.
flexor, dude. God. Found on the front of the thigh, can be strained with overexertion or sudden movements leading to localized pain and difficulty moving the hip. And I'm sure laying on it on a mattress doesn't feel good either. Doggone it. Anybody pulled the groin?
I have not.
I have not.
No.
I don't think so.
Pulling or straining the groin muscles can be extremely painful, restricting movement and causing sharp pain in the inner thigh area. My assumption is that that's a squat that's gone wrong.
No.
Or a lift that's gone wrong.
It's this way. It's like this.
Oh.
Way. It's like think
Gotcha.
about. Yeah, it's the
Like
other
a
way.
split.
Yeah.
Yay. God. Concussions.
Sure.
Maybe.
I'm still worried about that stuff.
I remember I had a concussion. When one of the other times that I was down riding the dunes, I went off of a jump, went completely wrong, landed, and the way that I landed, I at least bruised a rib, which that sucked like hell to get through. But then also I managed to concuss myself as well. And the way I figured that out is just the next morning I was dizzy as all hell.
Yeah.
And I was nauseous. I could not get rid of the nausea. I had to take the day off.
Yeah, I'm with Miles. That one worries me because between like football, boxing, general
Baseball.
stupidity, I'm up at like 8.
Oh yeah,
which is a lot of
I'm
concussions.
Three that I know of.
I had one in football, Mike, where I was taking smelling salts and going, "They don't work."
It's also it's also back in our day that was getting your bell rung.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
So how do you know at that point in time when you're in 5th grade, you got hit playing football?
Exactly.
That it's just nothing more than getting your bell rung and you're crying.
Exactly.
You know.
I know my wife actually. Tequila gave her a concussion.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dizzy, nauseous.
Oh,
All fell over while she was while her clothes came off.
This was not in a very good morning. I don't remember if she was pissed at me, but she was not exactly happy, and she ended up slamming the fridge door shut. And we had a bottle of tequila sitting up on top of it, and it rolled down and just conked her right on the back of the head. I actually had to come in late that day because she had to go in. I think she needed stitches. She might have needed stitches in her head on that one. I'm not entirely positive.
Did you take the opportunity to say, "Hey, dial it down"?
And then this is the last one I'm going to leave you with. As far as the most annoying common injuries, anybody here ever had to go through sciatica?
No.
Oh, this occurs due to pressure on the sciatic nerve, causing pain that radiates down the leg and being incredibly painful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that from the back?
Sucks.
Yes.
It's like your lower back, down your leg, but I mean shooting pain.
No.
Yes.
Haven't had that.
Oh, you would know because it's like
Yes,
you
you
get
would
to
know.
get up off the couch, anything. You're just like, oh my god, I can't move.
Do you just like stretch that out or ice it? Like
it
what in
kind
the world
of
do you
just
do?
goes away on its own eventually.
Okay.
But it takes a hot minute.
Right, you gotta ice it, then after a while, you can use warmth. But Thrill's right. You gotta. I mean, it's all of it. You gotta stretch it. You gotta do this or that.
Gotta work
but
it.
It is painful.
God, yeah, shooting pain is never a popular one there.
No.
Oh yeah, when you're just like, but I mean that shoot when you're just like standing there like, oh my god, that hurts so bad. I can't get up.
Miles, how does an officer in the UK hit the hat trick of car seizures?
I don't know.
I will tell you all about it at 5:50.
Take us our headlines are kind of a 5:50 in the meantime. Have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Good time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today's shot is brought to you by the fine folks at Black Raven Brewing, the proud brewers of Men's Room IPA and a Men's Room 20th anniversary.
Taking my daughter out for one tonight.
Really?
At the Pacific Inn Pub in lovely Fremont.
What do you get in the Pacific Inn?
Oh, man.
Everything there is good,
I've
man.
been getting Cajun shrimp.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, so good.
Today we toast 50-year-old Christopher Newton of Holmes County, Florida.
What up?
Now, a lot of times people say, I know, I was thinking the same thing. Holmes. They always say quit while you're ahead, but sometimes quitting while you're behind, that can also be a good call, all right? So someone in Florida, they had to call the cops and ask them to remove Christopher, who'd been staying with him. They did not explain why. They just said it's time for him to go. Now, it's not clear how long Christopher had been living there, but he eventually agreed to leave, and that could have been the end of it. Just leave, and it's done. But while the cops were still on the scene, he texted the homeowner and said that he forgot something, a bag of drugs. He told them he left the baggie on the nightstand in his room, so they let the cops search the room. And sure enough, they found a bag of cocaine. He's facing charges for possession of cocaine. Man, sometimes just let something go. He knew the cops were there. They're the ones that had to escort him out, and he had the nerve to say, yeah, look, man, I left my cocaine on the nightstand. Can I get it? And they're like, you can. And then he did, and then he was arrested. Kids, don't do drugs if you're that stupid. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichola.
Let's get a contestant on the line now for Profile This. 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here, and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. When that pipe starts to trickle and you're in a real pickle, call Pinky. When that burst pipe starts to smell ripe, call Pinky. When your water heater's shot and it won't get hot, call Pinky. When you get home to a flood, call your best bud. Pinky's Plumbing to the rescue. No job is too big or too small. Pinky's does it all. So when your plumbing backs up and things get stinky, call Pinky's. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Hiring is a lonely business. Posting jobs, sifting through resumes, interviews with unqualified applicants, being ghosted. What if you could link with dozens of qualified candidates who are ready to work right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, the workforce you need. Problem solved. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth.
Feeling smooth.
Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw.
So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then?
Now you're getting it. Beep-bop-beep-bop, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This Bosch 2-in-1 impact driver rules.
Oh, yeah!
That couldn't have been.
Macho Man Randy Savage indeed, yeah. A.K.A. You're in the Bosch. I'm a macho manifestation of that feeling you get when you use that 2-in-1 impact driver.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, say it with your chest, brother. Oh, yeah!
Oh, yeah!
We'll work on that.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Hey, anyone know what channel the game's on? We know. Download the Sports on What app today and always know how to watch the game. Satellite, cable, or streaming. Sports on What knows the channel the game is on, and you can too. Subscribe today to start your 7-day free trial. Sports on What? We know.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill completes everyone on Profile This is Played.
Yes, indeed. It's a very simple game to play, Miles. We will share with you 3 real stories that happen right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the stories, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Now, today, you gentlemen will be competing against one another, but you still have your choice of one of 3 categories. Today, we offer you the wonderful world of drugs. We have Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional object that someone chose to use as a weapon. And finally, Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem.
You're the host. Your pick.
I'm going to go Animalize This. Sheriff's deputies in Georgia, they rushed into action when a jailbreak was perpetrated by a white female suspect, which was true. It just happened to be that the white female was an animal. Now, the Polk County Sheriff's Office said on social media that, quote, a white female was discovered inside the perimeter fence of the Polk County Jail about 7:43 a.m. last week on this very day. The suspect attempted to go over the perimeter fence in an attempt to escape capture. That's according to the sheriff's office. Deputies cornered the critter to keep him from being injured by the razor wire on the perimeter fence. And according to the sheriff's social media post, quote, she could not tell us where she came from or how she got there. But we did notice that she had an injured foot. We were able to call for backup, and after a lengthy standoff involving 2 agencies, we were able to take her into custody.
The animal was inside the penitentiary.
It had breached the fence, Miles. That's
so
correct.
It was in the yard.
Uh-huh.
An inmate did not put it there.
No.
It just came in from
the outside.
Okay.
A white female was breaking
And this is in Georgia.
Yes. And the Polk County Animal Control assisted with the capture of the jailed trespasser. The animal, dubbed Bernice, was transported to a new home that takes in stray animals. The question is, what was the stray animal that tried to break into the Polk County prison? Was it a cat? Was it a dog? Was it an owl, or was it a duck? Cat, dog, owl, or duck? What tried to break into the Polk County Penitentiary? White female.
Tried to break in, but was not in.
Tried to break in. They managed to intercept her, so to speak, before she got to the razor wire.
I'm going to go cat, Ted.
Meow.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of the same things. I don't know that I see a lot of white ducks.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of white ducks out there.
Isn't that a swan?
No, there's white ducks.
Is there?
Yeah. I'll take the white duck.
One duck?
You going duck?
One duck.
Okay.
It's the way Mike likes them.
Ask him about Captain America.
There's only one in Mike's spot. Yeah. I mean, it could be an owl.
Could be.
But you'd also feel like an owl would lift over. Yeah, Miles, I'm going to agree with you. I think it's a cat. They're worried about it climbing back up over the fence.
Yes.
Was it a cat, dog, owl, or duck? We will find out next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to The Men's Room.
Look around. Every car you see is probably on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars. As for flying cars, well, we're ready when they are. If you see a car you like, find it on AutoTrader. That's our kind of thing. AutoTrader.
There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest, 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding gets softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code Odyssey. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Nerds! Today's episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. Smart Travel doesn't just cover points and miles. They break down all the financial aspects of your trip, whether that's the best days to book, how to avoid hidden fees, or which fancy travel credit cards pay off, and which ones are just an expensive flex. If you want your travel budget to work harder, then dive into the best deals, products, services, and more with Smart Travel from NerdWallet, wherever you get your podcasts.
Category is animalized this on profile. This sheriff deputies in Georgia involved in a jailbreak involving, well, an animal. Actually, it was a break-in.
It was a break-in, yes.
Not a break-out. So the animal across the perimeter, the fence, whatever they had, got into the grounds. So they caught the animal and were able to release it. Question is, was it a cat, a dog, an owl, or a duck?
And that's the question I posed to you three fine gentlemen. Now, the Ted Smith and Miles Montgomery, both of you agreed. Makes sense that it is a cat.
Cat.
Sorry.
Nope.
It was not a cat. By the way, Ted, a couple of people texted in. Donald Duck is a white duck, and the Affleck duck is a white duck.
Yeah. Donald Duck's not real.
How do you know that?
The Affleck duck talks.
It does talk.
So does Donald. That's why they're the squeaky.
Yeah, they both talk, actually, man.
Wait. Yeah, but they're not real.
What do you mean they're not real? I've seen the Affleck duck like every Christmas, or I'm sorry, every football season there he is.
You know what? If somebody had said, hey, Two-Turn Tony's duck is white, I'd go, okay.
All right, well, you don't accept Affleck or duck. Fine, whatever. You do you.
I deal realism.
But, Mike, you went with the duck. Speaking of ducks.
Let's go, duck!
Duck it is.
A freaking duck.
Delicious roasted duck. They should have kept that thing.
They probably did. Like, we saved it.
There's no Koreans in here? Come on. Somebody hook this up.
We need to arrest more Koreans to cook this duck.
Not for all TV news all the time. Time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Tonight on the menu, the penitentiary duck Laurent. All right, your choices today got Seth Meyers, The Jimmy,
Salmon Kibble,
Colbert,
Steven,
Thomason,
Taylor,
Ted,
The
Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late?
That's right, at a time. Most cats have teams and talented writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
The makers of Sesame Street announced they are laying off over 200 employees. And to the count, now's not the time. Just cool your jet.
Seth Meyers.
Yes,
that's
The makers of Sesame Street announced they're laying off more than 200 employees. And to the count, now's not the time. Just cool your jets.
At last night's ski jump championships, two ski jumping Norwegians admitted to cheating by using manipulated jumpsuits with a reinforced thread. And let them. Who watches a man hurl himself into the sky at 80 miles an hour, soar 300 feet, and stick to perfect landing? Then, wait a second, does his jumpsuit have a reinforced thread?
Seth.
Ted.
Colbert.
Unfortunately, at last week's World Ski Jump Championships, two ski jumping Norwegians admitted to cheating by using manipulated jumpsuits with a reinforced thread. And let him. Who watches a man hurl himself into the sky at 80 miles an hour, soar 300 feet, and stick a perfect landing, and then goes, wait a second, does his jumpsuit have reinforced thread?
Ski jumping is amazing.
It is, man.
Eddie the Eagle.
I know. When I was a kid, he was the highlight.
But he did
It was great.
But
it
he
was
did
crash. He
did
never
it.
landed.
Well, I mean, his style was...
Evel Knievel. We still loved him.
Yeah.
A total lunar eclipse will flush the moon red Thursday night into Friday morning across the Western Hemisphere, a.k.a. a blood moon. So get ready for serendipity from accounting to explain the power of it all week while she's selling you a crystal.
Ted Smith.
Yeah, the Ted Smith.
Yeah, that is me. How'd you know, Miles?
Just based on the fact that you fact-check the moon with a person who's into astrology or into horoscopes. Or, you always run into that person. You're like, dude, I thought you were normal for half a second. And now you're talking, and I don't want to ask you out.
A New York longevity clinic is offering a $250,000 annual membership that include anti-aging treatments. You ever notice how it's only the super rich who want to live longer? That's why anti-aging treatments are $250,000, but a Taco Bell Supreme Lux box is only $5.99. Here's a 10. Take me out.
Colbert.
Myers.
A New York longevity clinic has announced recently it will offer a $250,000 annual membership that includes anti-aging treatments. You ever notice how it's only super wealthy people who want to live longer? That's why anti-aging treatments are $250,000, but a Taco Bell Supreme Lux box is $5.99. Here's a 10. Take me out.
Seth brings up Taco Bell a lot. I can't tell if he loves it or hates it.
He probably lives in
probably likes it, and that's why you bring it up.
So I doubt he gets it.
I don't think he lives in Manhattan.
Or does he?
I think he likes it because that way, if Taco Bell ever, comes to you like, hey, man, leave us alone. Like, bro, I love you. I'm giving you props.
Right. You're right. He always goes there to that well.
Yeah, Taco Bell is often like on his hit list. So I'm like, that's just one of those things. Which, look, I get it. It's easy to make fun of Taco Bell, and credit to Taco Bell. They make no beef about it, right? Like they're just like fourth meal.
They also don't make beef.
The fourth meal, that was proven false.
Yeah.
Like come in here and just eat a bunch of stuff.
We know what we're doing. You know what you're buying.
See, my thing is first meal. That's what I would do if I was the advertising guy. I'd be like, dude, first meal. I eat it every morning if I can.
Taco Bell.
That's
first
what
meal.
I'll bring in some tacos. Like 10 o'clock in the morning. Here I am eating Taco Bell. I'm not even stoned.
Yeah, I don't think that's their advertising audience, though.
No, I know. I'm just saying they do have breakfast.
All right, so this is kind of an interesting list here. The website yardbarker.com put together a list of basically actors who always play the same character.
Robert De Niro.
Al Pacino.
All right, so think a little bit newer age, not quite
Ryan
that.
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, number 2 on the list.
He is.
all
Okay,
right.
he plays the same guy every time.
The Rock.
He just plays himself no matter what the role is.
Right.
The Rock did not make the list.
Will Ferrell.
Ooh, good call.
I mean, he's a comedy actor, so
Yeah.
they tend to kind of do the same shtick every time, but...
So, number 10, he's not on the list.
Okay.
Number 10, Vin Diesel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every time.
Jason Statham, I would put in there, too.
But what else has he done?
Jason Statham is number 3 on the list.
Other than the Fast and Furious that we know of.
Vin Diesel, he was Groot.
He is Groot, but that's one.
That's voice
I
work,
am
too.
Groot. That's
Did you
three.
never see Triple X?
Yes.
And then there was the
All right,
Chronicles
that's a great
of
Vin
Riddick.
Diesel movie.
Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay.
But he's still the same character. He's just in a different situation.
Yeah.
The Pacifier. It's a good point. He was like a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Navy SEAL.
He was a Navy SEAL babysitter?
Navy SEAL
I think he's
babysitter.
too yoked to be a SEAL. All the SEALs I know are like
You're
super
a lean
athletic.
fighting machine, man.
Yeah, like they're shredded, but they're not like bulked
Big.
up.
Yeah.
Like he is. Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes. He can't help it.
Yeah. he can't.
Now we'll get into some ladies. Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe Deschanel.
Yep.
The unassuming just happens to be where she's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
She'd fit
quirky.
into Portland. I call it the land of bangs.
She would fit into Portland.
Yeah.
She would fit like a glove in Portland.
Someone there says Jason Bateman.
Number 1 on the list.
Oh, you're
No
killing me.
way.
Wow, they
Really?
nailed him, man.
He talks the same way in every character.
Right.
Now, he's played different roles, but I mean, like,
Who he
that
is
character,
the
right,
same.
Right, that character on Ozark is kind of still Jason Bateman.
Are you a good guy or are you a bad guy? Is it a comedy? Is it a drama? If Jason Bateman's playing the role, you know exactly what to expect.
Yeah.
Right? It does not change ever.
Melissa McCarthy makes the list at number 7.
Yes. But she cracks me up, but they're not wrong. Like, she is always the same character, but
It's
she's
the same
hilarious.
flavor, but there's different styles to it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike and Molly was vastly different than the movies that she did.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But in the movies, all right, you're right about that. But I'd say in the movies,
She's more crass, excuse me, in the movies, But even to Mike and Molly, she was still very nice and
sarcastic.
I mean,
yeah, she was funny.
Yeah.
There's something.
You know, it's funny. She got so famous, I almost forget about that damn show.
Yeah, exactly. I know you're an apologist for Mike and Molly.
One man.
Sorry, dude.
It's a great show.
I'll tell you what. I'll go through that whole series if you finally start watching Seinfeld.
Okay. Done.
There was one scary moment last week with my family. My one cousin's husband goes, "Are you guys just going to quote Seinfeld all day? Is this what we're going to do?"
All right, Kevin James.
Yeah. Not on the list. Seth Rogen makes the list.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, this won't surprise you. This guy stars in a lot of Seth Rogen films.
Franco.
Bill Hader.
Michael Cera.
Yeah. I wondered, when you said Eisenberg, I wondered if Sarah was going to be on there.
Because they play each other.
Yeah. The actors always play the same character. We covered Bateman, Ryan Reynolds, Jason Statham, and then one more female, Aubrey Plaza.
Yep.
Has she done anything other than Parks and Rec?
Yeah, she was on, what was the Scorsese wank fest that he did?
What, The Irishman?
Megalopolis or whatever.
Oh.
And I watched the movie. It's okay. I will not watch it again. But she is, because she plays a bitch incredibly well.
I'm about to say,
it's harder to cast someone who can be a bitch better than her.
She's got resting bitch face, but sexy resting bitch face.
But I would argue that Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, to me, are very overrated in the sense that you're always the same character. And look, I'm not saying they don't have the ability to do something different, but they just don't.
Yeah, you're right. And like we've had this conversation 100 times. Sorry, it looks like Barbie's Jeep just drove by us.
Pink Jeep!
They do play the same characters. I think a lot of actors do. It's just a matter of, like, I like them. Like, Denzel, to me, is one of the greatest actors.
Roughly the same person.
I would add Denzel to that list.
You're right. I think anyone that plays a mobster, right, Joe Pesci, he's always the same guy, right? You know what his role is as soon as you see him.
Yeah.
Right? He's going to be the loudmouth guy. And again, it's not because they can't act, but they're not asked to.
Yeah. There's a limit to people's range. I'll give them that. You know, Denzel was in the new Gladiator movie, and I checked it out. And
is he just Denzel?
Dude, how was that movie?
Dude, okay, so I loved the first Gladiator. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. I'll say that. I did not mind Gladiator 2, but I got a lot of grief for saying I didn't mind. I have bad taste, okay? I thought Wild Hogs was a funny and good movie.
That's a strong point.
But at the same time, like, I enjoyed Gladiator 2. It was kind of the same premise. Like, they rewrote the same movie, but at the same time, it's like, Denzel did a great job. He's a phenomenal actor, and I feel like he does have some really good range, but the problem is, I kept watching the movie, and I was like, that's Denzel in doggone Roman times.
Those movies where the action heroes all got together, like Sylvester Stallone.
Expendables.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the same
were fun.
premise. You like those?
I loved those.
But Sylvester Stallone knew what he was doing. Like, look, this is how you've been typecast, so let's just do a movie where we play what people expect us to be and put us in a situation. Right? I mean, like, he got it. He wasn't messing around. Like, yeah, this is who you think these people are. Let's just do a movie where, we are what people think we are.
Right. And you're right. It is just Denzel and Gladiator times, but I still want to watch it. That's why I like that movie, The Heat, so much, right? Because it's like, Pacino, but for a change, Pacino's a cop.
Yeah.
You know?
Whereas De Niro, Pacino. You know what I mean? Like,
put your hands behind your back. I'm a cop now. Where are the black women at?
Somebody else said Samuel L. Jackson. That's pretty good call.
Samuel L. Jackson, he does. I mean, look, there's only so many Daniel Day-Lewises of the world who are freaking kind of psychos and completely go into the role and
do a
and that.
movie once every 6 years, right? I mean, because they, like you said, they live, breathe, and eat whoever the character is going to be.
Yeah. But I mean, you're right. And like we were saying, if you like the actor, you'll still watch their stuff.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne.
It's them playing the same role all the time.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne.
He's Morpheus in everything.
If you see him in a movie, you already kind of know how he contributes to the storyline.
Wahlberg.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. Like I'm
Wahlberg's an action star.
I'm racking my brain. I'm trying to find actors that have even more range. Like you mentioned, Daniel Day-Lewis, and that's probably one of, is he considered the best actor of our day and age just because of his range? But
maybe you can argue Tom Hanks.
Right?
Sounds ridiculous, right? But he was a comedian. He was a stand-up comic, man. But basically, by the time he got around doing Forrest Gump, now he's like this dramatic blah, 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 blah. He's a comedian.
I think he nailed it with Will Ferrell, Mike.
What was the name of the guy in Split? His name's escaping me right now. That movie showed his range. He did a phenomenal job in that one.
Was that the Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson?
I mean, it was the same universe there, but it was the other one in the movie.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I hate it because I like the kid as an actor. He's great. I just can't remember his name at this point. Doggone it.
You're awesome. What's your face?
Also, had Anya Taylor-Joy in it.
You know what?
James McAvoy.
There are some actors, Eddie Redmayne, whatever it is.
Yep, he does a very good job.
Doesn't matter what role you put him in, he does a great job. Can't remember the damn name. Redmayne.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'd put Emil Hirsch in there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he seems to kind of change his roles, and it's very tough because he's so good at them. And that's the thing, too. It depends on where you see these people first.
True.
Like I said before, when I was a kid, I thought Ben Kingsley was Gandhi. Like, it was shocking to see, like, oh, this dude's just an actor.
Then you see him in a comedy. You're like, wait, Gandhi's funny.
Right. Love Guru.
I still love to this day, by the way. We talk about Scorsese and getting the whole gang back together. And I love almost all those films with all those students. The Irishman is 3 hours. It is very long. But my mom contends, she's like, there's not one Irish guy in it. But I mean, right? All the main parts are played.
You should watch Miller's Guild
by Italian Americans.
That's a good one.
Let's see. You got some basketball tournaments starting. Miles, did you see the the West Coast Conference Championship last night?
I did not.
You know who was in it? You
St.
predicted
Mary's
it.
and Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. I know. Shocking.
Of course.
Guess what? Gonzaga won.
Again.
So, but you have a lot of the other tournaments started. I think Big 12 started. I want to say the Big East started because they're kind of famous. They always finish on Saturday night in Madison Square Garden. So, the next few days, man, if you like college hoops, this is your time of year. Watch it.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Man on a fishing boat tells the cops that he actually caught the $1 million in cocaine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at American Airlines, a passenger kicks flight attendant and swallows a rosary bead while going insane. Tens of thousands of Amazon rainforest being cut down for a climate event. To Memphis, where 5 men arrested for how their body bent. And police get a 3-for-1 deal in the UK. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Our top story, we go to the UK, where a bad situation cannot stop getting worse. A driver was stopped by a local officer and was found to be breaking the rules as they didn't have the vehicle insured. Mm-hmm. This, of course, led officers to seize the automobile, requiring the driver to call somebody for a ride. His partner showed up to give him a ride, but there was a little issue. Her car wasn't insured either, causing her car to be seized as well. Understandably upset about the situation, they went down to the station to complain about the situation, luckily able to catch a ride down to the station with a friend. And if you've been tracking, you know exactly where this is going. Yes, indeed, their friend's car didn't have insurance either and was also seized.
So they're going to complain that their stuff was taken away because their car's not insured.
Right.
How stupid and or entitled or both can you possibly be?
No kidding. That's really, I think, what it boils down to.
God damn,
because if I call you up, Steve, I need a ride, my car's getting towed, I didn't have insurance on it.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me, Mike, my car's not insured either.
So the last thing I'm going to do is go to where you're at.
I can't pick you up, dude.
That's what not even a smart person, what an average person would do.
Right. Or, hey, meet me at the gas station down the road.
Right.
I'm not going to the scene of the crime.
God.
Yep.
In other news, we go to South America, where they're getting a brand new highway. A 4-lane highway is being constructed for an upcoming summit event, which is considered important enough to warrant them digging into some protected land. You see, Ted, the 4-lane highway does come at the expense of tens of thousands of acres of protected land in the Amazon rainforest, which, of course, has conservationists up in arms. But they'll have plenty of time to discuss it at the COP30 climate summit that is being hosted, which is why they are building the highway.
That's amazing. That is absolutely
They're building the highway
amazing.
For a climate summit.
Well, I mean, the flip side of this is, obviously it's stupid, but you know there's no sincerity in it.
Correct.
Right? So, like, don't even waste your time reading about it. Like, they're not sincere about it.
No.
Okay, let's move on.
Nothing that
all
happens
those guys
here
also
they mean.
fly in on private jets.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So the whole thing is just one big
They don't mean a
facade.
damn
Zero sincerity. It's a photo op. They blow some smoke up your ass, but that's it.
Exactly. But just in case those stories with the bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
We go to Kentucky, where a school bus driver went above and beyond. He's gotten to know the kids on his route and was understandably surprised when one of the kids that he picks up that usually has a happy and excited demeanor was waiting for him with a long face. He was actually hunched over, hood up, like he was disappointed.
He was crying underneath his jacket.
He asked him what the problem was, and it turned out that it was pajama day at the school, and the young man didn't have any PJs to wear and participate. Feeling the injustice of the situation, the bus driver made a quick stop at the family dollar store nearby and bought the kid a few pairs to choose from and went back to the school to drop them off.
Nice.
Completely made his day. He spent the rest of the day with a smile on his face. That's somebody going above and beyond, man. That's
awesome.
I can support that all day. Men's Room Sports brought to you by the fine folks at Sports on What. NFL free agency officially opened this afternoon. The Seahawks have already made a couple of signings. They've reached an agreement with former Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence for a 3-year, $42 million deal with $18 million guaranteed. And they also brought in former Saints and Chiefs wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling, signing him to a 1-year deal worth up to $5.5 million.
I like him.
Storing it up, dude. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying this. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens here.
It's funny because, like, last week, Seahawks fans just devastated. We don't know what we're doing. This week, like, hell yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Let's ride.
NBA
happens that quick.
It really does,
It's
man.
whiplash, dude. What are you going to watch tonight? NBA and college basketball and some NHL hockey is on tonight featuring your Seattle Kraken. Find out where to watch all those games in one convenient location. It's called the Sports on What app. As far as your weather, rain continues tonight and temperatures are dropping down right around to 39, and it'll open up a bit tomorrow as we've got a mostly cloudy 48-degree day to look forward to tomorrow. That's it for headline. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
We'll see you next time for the game known as Big Dummy. The lovely Jolene is up next.
Yes, indeed, it's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all up this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. You know what's sneaky? A bunch of big corporations buying up local companies you know and love, gutting them, and keeping the name. But you know who's not a sellout? Pinky's Plumbing. That's right. Pinky's Plumbing's values start with their work ethic, honesty, how they treat their employees, and how they care for their customers. Bigger isn't always better, and that's a fact. You should know you're working with a locally owned company that truly values where they live and work. Pinky's Plumbing. Pinky'sPlumbing.com.
Is your team at work feeling a little disconnected? Maybe the workflow's not flowing? Try Confluence by Atlassian. Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can create, organize, and deliver work like never before. In Confluence, teams can whiteboard their vision for any project, easily create or access the relevant pages and resources they need, and discover important context they might not even know they need. Plus, AI helps teams jumpstart brainstorms, organize information, and connect workflows, so teams can move efficiently and create alignment with ease. In fact, with Confluence, teams can see 5.2% average boost in productivity in 1 year. So if your team lacks confidence, try Confluence, the connected workspace where teams can do it all. Set knowledge free with Confluence. Learn more at Atlassian.com/Confluence. That's ATLASSIAN.com/CONFLUENCE.
Mom, I need to lay low for a few days.
Lay low? What's going on?
I only paid for this Hyundai Tucson.
Christopher Allen Lynch.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. Get the car or SUV you want at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0.99% APR for 60 months or $7,500 EV bonus on the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Offers end March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Wow.
What's up?
I just bought and financed a car through Carvana in minutes.
You? The person who agonized 4 weeks over whether to paint your walls eggshell or off-white bought and financed a car in minutes?
They made it easy. Transparent terms, customizable down and monthly. Didn't even have to do any paperwork.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hey, have you checked out that spreadsheet I sent you for our dinner options?
Finance your car with Carvana and experience total control. Financing subject to credit approval.
Navigate the electric revolution and gain insights to electric vehicle manufacturing with Rockwell Automation. Get our free white paper and gain all the insights you need into the electric auto industry and smart manufacturing. Only the agile will survive this metamorphic shift in the industry. So let Rockwell Automation keep you up to speed. Search Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper and download your free copy today. The electric revolution is here and full insights are available for download. Get the Rockwell Automation EV Revolution white paper today.